gentlemen, and welcome inside the Comerica Center here in Frisco, Texas for game number 4 on day number 3 of the ACHA Men's Division I National Championships here on the ACHA Network. Sam Fleming here with you on the call tonight, along with Casey Roll for number 8 Arizona and number 9 Liberty. And Casey, we have an exciting game. Actually, the seeds are flipped. It's number 8 Liberty and number 9 Arizona. But Casey, an exciting game on our hands. This is the one everybody's been looking forward to, and we've been waiting all day to get to this one.
Well, Sam, my friend, I'll say one thing. Top 10 matchups are always fun, but in this case, it's a bit of a team that's been used to this setting against Arizona, who has won a very tough conference. Liberty the exact same. The Flames in the ESCHL and the Wildcats as a member of the WCHL. A bit interesting of a matchup we have here because unlike Arizona, who won the auto bid because they won their league, that's not the case for Liberty. They lost the ESCHL against Syracuse, but for those who follow the American Collegiate Hockey Association in the regular season, Syracuse was in the midst of a brawl last year against New York University, which made them ineligible for tournament play this season, thus making Liberty eligible to make it to the tournament on an auto bid. So it's a bit of a flip and a juxtaposition in terms of how teams made it, but nonetheless will be a good matchup with some very high talented scorers.
We'll send it down to Andy Storrs for pregame.
ACHA YouTube Network. Welcome to the Comerica Center in Frisco, Texas for the 2019 American Collegiate Hockey Association Men's Division I National Championship Tournament hosted by the Frisco Convention and Visitors Bureau, the Dallas Stars, and the Children's Health Star Center Ice Rinks. This is ACHA Public Address Announcer Andy Storrs. Game number 4 today features on the visiting bench the number 9 ranked University of Arizona Wildcats. And on the home team bench, the number 8 ranked Liberty University Flames. Let's meet the starting lineups for tonight's game, beginning with the visiting bench, Arizona Wildcats. In goal, a sophomore from Peoria, Arizona, number 30, Anthony Churro. On defense, a junior from Phoenix, Arizona, number 20, Manny Rowe. On defense, a sophomore from San Clemente, California, number 24, Keelan Alnick. At center, a junior from St. Charles, Illinois, number 11, Bailey Marshall. At left wing, a sophomore from Holmdel, New Jersey, number 15, Anthony Cusinelli. And at right wing, a junior from Calgary, Alberta, number 12, Christopher Westland. The head coach of the Wildcats is Chad Berman. His assistant coaches are Toppy Hogan and Shane Fausel. And now let's meet the starting lineups for the home team bench. The Liberty University Flames. In goal, a senior from Chilliwack, British Columbia, number 30, Joshua Halpenny. On defense, a senior from Waterloo, Ontario, number 4, Matt Cruikshank. On defense, a junior from Drake, Saskatchewan, number 86, Joshua Bergen. At center, a sophomore from Franklin, Tennessee, number 21, Devin Pierce. At left wing, a sophomore from Edmonton, Alberta, number 90, Cole Gammer. And at right wing, a junior from Winnipeg, Manitoba, number 18, Jordan Buczynski. The head coach of the Flames is Kirk Handy. His associate head coach is Jeff Bedker. The assistant coaches are Daniel Berthume and Jonathan Chung. Equipment manager Brett Berthume, manager Matt Noakes, and manager David Pushkis. Ladies and gentlemen, would you all please rise and kindly remove all caps and join me, soloist Andy Storrs and organist Gary Lichthart, in the singing and playing of the Star-Spangled Banner. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light But so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets that flared, the pumps bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Andy Storrs leading it in great as always for us here and setting up the nightcap tonight. 3 great games earlier, Casey. A couple that got a little bit out of hand, a little bit of a blowout in our last game between UCO and Davenport. But this game right here, I don't expect that to happen. 2 well-matched teams. This is going to be an exciting one to call. What are you most looking forward to in this first period between Arizona and Liberty?
Well, it's one of the best offensive teams in the Division I tournament, in my opinion, with the Wildcats against the Flames, who have one of the best defensive pairings in the country. The Wildcats have the 3rd best scorer in the country in Bailey Marshall. And just to think, he's not the only threat that the Wildcats have. Christopher Westland and Anthony Cuselli have each scored over 45 points, a very high, potent offense. But what I'm most interested in, Liberty's not starting their starting goaltender in Cole Biersick. Joshua Halpenny is starting in net. The Chilliwack, British Columbia native, has set career highs in goals against and save percentage. But it's interesting to me in the fact that it's a winner-go-home tournament and your best goalie, arguably, is not starting today. So we'll see how this Arizona offense combats that here in game number 4 today.
We're underway as Raymond Rowe plays the puck up to Anthony Cusinelli. Now Cusinelli sends it into the wall. It's Westland looking in deep on Matt Cruikshank. He plays it up to Gammer, and we get a whistle immediately. And I'm not sure if we had something come dislodged with the glass.
Yeah, the door on the far side where the Zamboni would typically enter from is a bit open. You can see some of the light coming through on the ice, so that's what they're working on right now. It's an interesting story. For those who weren't with us throughout the duration of the day, the glass down the far side was changed because of a couple hits on the end wall. So this rink has been taking a beating and a battering throughout the entire day. The officials going over and looking at the end wall. They're bringing over the ladder to try to fix up any more loose damages and make some quick repairs.
So again, a little brief delay here, just 15 seconds in. Again, Sam Fleming, Casey Roll here with you on the call of game number 4 in the ACHA Men's Division I National Tournament. On day 3 here, the tournament in full swing, Men's Division II going on in Plano, Texas. So we talked a little bit about Arizona. Let's set up Liberty a little bit. A couple guys to keep your eyes on. One of the guys that played in a pretty big tournament for Team USA, Quinn Ryan, back in the lineup for Liberty, and also a name to keep your eye on, number 9, Brock Thompson.
Yeah, how about it? Quinn Ryan, a member of the World University Games for Team USA, set a career high in points and goals, 58 and 25 respectively. And going to Brock Thompson, had a career year himself, 24 points for the former Milwaukee Junior Admiral and the former Tampa Bay Junior in the USPHL, a guy who's got great junior hockey experience, which is translated over to the ACHA Division I hockey level. Not something that you see from a lot of guys, but Thompson's able to make it work along with Ryan. Both have to be very big pieces today here if they want to beat this highly touted Arizona Wildcats team.
So again, Brock Thompson, Quinn Ryan, players to watch, and then we talked about that entire line for Arizona. That top line that started the game, Marshall, Westland, and Cusinelli. How can the Flames contain it? They've got one of the best defenses that we've seen this season in the ACHA Division I. One of their top players, Jacob Fricks, who leads from the back, replacing a tough guy to replace on this team, Zane Schartz, who signed an ECHL goal, and it's 1-0 in favor of the number 9 seed.
That's just forwards beating defense. Justin Plumoff on a rebound out in front. It was a bit of a break for Arizona. They had numbers. They waited until it was an even 5-on-5. A centering pass below the goal line. I don't think that Halpenny knew where the puck was. He was looking into the corner. He lost control of where the puck was. He looked the other way, and it was an easy centering pass because the middle of the ice was left wide open.
And it's Joshua Larson who tallies the first goal of the game for Arizona. Just almost a minute 30 in. We'll get the official announcement of the goal from Andy Storrs momentarily, but that's a big start for the Wildcats here in game number 4.
Very big start. If you can stop.
Trey Decker at 1:18. Arizona goal scored by Larson, assisted by Decker at 1:18.
As you hear the official wording by Andy Storrs. Anyway, just finishing up with that, if you can get this Liberty defense scrambling on their back heels, it plays well for Arizona. Meanwhile, for Liberty, just make sure you keep the puck in the corners in the attacking zones.
Almost a chance the other way as Hamilton was looking for Roberts out in front. Now it's Ryan Cox battling in the corner. Crookshank tries to clear it out, hold it in the zone, and it's chipped deep, back in deep by Zachariah Roberts. Now Dungy with it, trying to clear it out, held in by Boshinski. Arizona regains control, up by a goal early here as Peter Meyer dumps it in. Halpenny will come out to play it. We'll settle it for Matt Crookshank.
A big thing right now, Sam, 2 block shots in a span of a minute for Arizona, really limiting the shooting lanes for Liberty.
Here comes Devin Pierce. He leaves it for Gamer. Gamer's shot blocked, and yet another block shot by Ben Jones of Arizona. Now here come the Wildcats the other way. Racing up the ice, it's Cullen Olson. He plays it over to Azzadoni.
And an offside was called. Arzadoni entered the zone after he lost control of the puck. Bailey Marshall was streaking in. He didn't know where it was. He was already at the dot when Arzoni was trying to maintain the attacking zone after the puck nearly crossed the blue line. He entered when the puck just left, so it's a face-off in front of the Liberty bench.
Repossessed by the Wildcats. They'll send it into the zone off the stick of Ben Jones. It's picked up by Jacob Fricks. Fricks plays it up to Devin Pierce of Franklin, Tennessee. Here comes Pierce with some speed into the zone. Pierce shot on and a nice save from Churro. Now coming the other way is Arizona. Arizona skating up the ice with Charlie James. James tried to leave it off the boards for a teammate. It's picked up by Artazzoni. Artazzoni cycles it in deep. Cusinelli with a quick shot on and a nice glove save from Josh Halpenny. Glove saves have been a theme in this tournament, Casey, and we've seen some spectacular ones. Phil Babb yesterday for Oklahoma with the SC top 10-like save, but the goaltenders have been very strong in a lot of these games in this Division I national tournament.
They have, except if you're University of Central Oklahoma, who got battered today by Davenport. But for a goaltender the quality of Halpenny, you're going to have to do a lot to beat him short side.
We're just over the 3-minute mark, 3 minutes into this first period. Sam Fleming, Casey Roll with you. 1-0 in favor of Arizona thanks to a goal from Josh Larson.
You know, Sam, Liberty's defense is doing a really good job limiting shots. 2 shots to 1 in favor of the Flames. The 1 shot for Arizona was a goal off of a poor defensive miscommunication, but only 3 shots right now. 3.5 minutes in for a couple of the top scoring teams in the tournament. It's just a testament to how this defensive back line has been playing.
And we'll see which defense will break first, as here comes a chance the other way for the Wildcats. The top line as Cusinelli tried to feed it out in front, held in by Arizona. Quick shot on through traffic. It was blocked off the stick of Keelan Oldnick. Now Thompson tries to send it in. He's hit hard and now freed up for the Wildcats. Coming the other way is Cusinelli, and it's offsides.
A little over anxious that time. Bailey Marshall left it off to Cusinelli while Marshall's skate was in the zone. Easy call by the officiating crew.
Again, we appreciate you joining us here on the ACHA Network. An exciting day of games here from the Division I level. More to come tomorrow. 4 games on the slate as we get into the round of 8, heading for the championship on Tuesday. Arizona tried to send it back in. They repossess it. But it's Zachariah Roberts who chips it on for Josh Hamilton. It's kept in by Bergen on the attempted clear from Arizona. Now it'll be picked up along the wall by Justin Dungy. Dungy plays it over. Picked up by Larson, the goal scorer for Arizona. Now rushing the other way. And it's offsides. as Plumhoff tried to skate in. And Casey, after getting the first goal of the game, Arizona has settled in nicely. They're moving the puck really well, playing strong defensively, but they've also got the odd man rushes and the breakouts going in their favor so far.
They have. The only thing that's not really working for them is staying onside. They forced 3 Liberty turnovers now in the last minute and a half, so Chad Berman's squad is doing exactly what they need to on offense as they get another poke in the defensive zone.
Fricks will get it back, and it's another turnover, and here comes a chance for Arizona, and a quick shot on off the stick of Trey Decker, but yet again, 2 turnovers in that quick span for Arizona. They've done a really good job recognizing where the play is going to be as they intercept a pass from Jacob Fricks, who's normally one of the best heads-up passers for the Flames.
He is, and just going back on that shot, Plumhoff fired one from the short side, trying to get it to go off the pad. A lot of times you'll see goalies play it on their pads. It gets rebounds in front. That was primarily what that one was, but that time Halpenny able to glove it down.
Now it's rushed up by Brock Thompson, who plays it on to Nelson. And they're going to get offsides here as Josh Fricks was just a little bit over the line. And Fricks with a little extracurricular skating behind the net. He and Raymond Rowe. Nothing much doing after that. So if you're Liberty down 1-0, 15-12 to go here in the first, Casey, what do you have to do to try to get back to your game?
Well, one, you just have to make sure you win the battles at neutral ice because Arizona right now has controlled it at the red line. They've been attacking the zone even though they've been going offside. And honestly, Sam, I said it earlier today with a couple of our members, but these delays might be giving a lot of these guys antsy legs, which contributes to getting offside and really playing out of shape. We had a delay last game. We had a delay at the first 15 seconds in this one. So that could be a factor that people might not really realize.
Kirkshank battling down low. Arizona gets it on the wraparound chance. Thrown out in front. Still loose. Halpenny couldn't find it. And cleared away by the Flames as Bochinski will get it. Now Brandon Bochinski chips it into the zone. He'll work in deep. He battles along with number 13. That's Matthew Hull. Bochinski tried to feed it out for a streaking Ryan Cox in the slot. Cox works it in deep for Bochinski. Bochinski battling with Meyer. Getting physical a little bit early here are the Wildcats as it's pinched in deep by Roberts. He plays it up to Basil Reynolds. Quick shot on by Lauber is thrown wide. Now an attempted clear. Reynolds holds it in through traffic. Blocked by Cox looking for the rebound. Roberts shot. He throws it wide. It's off the back of the net. And Liberty's best chance just sails wide as Roberts tried to even the score. 14 minutes to go here in the first.
That was a product of a broken clear by Arizona. The puck was in the corner boards. They couldn't flip it out to center as they just did. It turned into a quality scoring chance by Roberts. And if Liberty can get those, if they can get the forecheck working, that's how you beat a team like the Wildcats.
And they get offsides here as Thompson did a good job to intercept the play. But it was Quinn Ryan just a little bit over the line. But it looks like Liberty, as soon as we talked about how good Arizona's been and Liberty trying to get back to simplicity, they're starting to get their legs back, and they've made some good plays here in this later run.
Yes, they have. And Sam, just a quick number. We're just under 7 minutes in. We have 7 offsides between both teams combined.
An interesting stat there, Casey. As 7 offsides. I don't think I've seen that many in this
I
early.
can't say I've ever seen that in the first 5 ever.
A rush for Brock Thompson. He throws a shot just wide, and Thompson was looking for an opportunity, a golden chance thrown just wide of the net of Churro. Now battling down low as Thompson's pinned to the ground by Olnick. Worked up to Quinn Ryan. He plays it to Fricks. Now Fricks' shot thrown wide. Thompson works it in deep. Brock Thompson cycles it. Tried to cycle it for Ryan, but a good clear off the stick of Keelan Olnick.
Sometimes that's the best play going back to that last possession for Liberty. Fire a shot from the point. It doesn't get net, but it takes those weird bounces off the end boards. It trickles into the slot, and that's where a lot of scoring chances can be made.
Rowe with a weird bounce off the stanchion, and in turn worked out for Bailey Marshall, but a save by Josh Halpenny.
See, if I'm Arizona right there, I have to center that pass. Marshall is trying to beat Halpenny short side. He's one of the better goalies in the ESCHL. Westland was streaking down the right wing. If he centered it, he would have had Halpenny off balance, and he could have beaten him glove side.
12:48 to go here in the first period. Shots 3-3. Again, Arizona up 1-0 thanks to Larson's goal. Sam Fleming, Casey Roll here with you on the call for the ACHA Network as Bochinski battles along the wall. A couple Wildcat and Flames players there. And it's going to be Cusinelli who sends it into the corner. Now Crookshank will race to the puck. Plays it up top to Cole Gammer. Cole Gammer chips it in. Armstrong intercepts, plays it off the boards. Retreating is Bergen. Bergen plays it to Crookshank, now up to Bochinski. Bochinski will dump it in the zone. And it's a delayed offsides against Liberty, so they'll have to regroup. So time for the Wildcats as Bochinski pressures. It's played to the wall for Armstrong.
And Sam, something I'm noticing right now in these Liberty line changes, defensemen aren't charging in on the rush when they're making changes. They're staying back at neutral ice because they know how fast these forwards for Arizona are and how easily they can beat them down the wings.
That is a good thing that I have noticed as well, Casey, as it's worked up to the top. A quick shot on, redirected off the stick of Matthew Hull. But so far, Arizona has had plenty of chances early on. Another quick shot saved by the blocker of Hallpenny. Now a rush for Liberty the other way, but lost off the stick of Ryan Cox. It comes back to Reynolds.
One of the tougher plays. It's one of those in-between rolls that bounces off of sticks and can kill rushes instantly.
Now coming the other way is Arizona. Quick shot ripped wide of the net off Ben Jones's stick. It comes back. Cox with a nice hit by the benches on number 27, Peter Meyer. Now repossessed by Jacob Fricks. He plays it to Garrett Nelson. Nelson, he chips it into the corner. Picked up by Rowe, working in deep. He battles with Josh Fricks. Arizona trying to clear it out of the zone. It's repossessed by Nelson in the neutral zone. He'll chip it back deep. Rowe intercepted by Brock Thompson. Here comes Thompson for the Flames. Thompson trying to settle it. We're going to have a penalty here, and it's going to go against Arizona. So the first power play of the night is going to go to Liberty. Casey down a goal with 10:48 remaining in the first period.
I like the play by Liberty that time, streaking down the left wing, and the penalty that time is going to go on Raymond Rowe. He knew he was beat going down the left wing, so he held his stick up in there, tried to prevent the break, because if that was a clean play, there was a really good centering possibility because Brock Thompson was streaking down the slot. A smart penalty, but we'll see if this Liberty power play can convert the best in the ESCHL.
We'll wait for the official penalty announcement from Andy Storrs here momentarily.
Penalty called on number 20, Manny Rowe, 2 minutes for hooking at 9:12. Arizona penalty, Rowe, 2 minutes for hooking at 9:12.
So Liberty works the first power play as Quinn Ryan gets it to Cole Gammer. Gammer fires a one-timer, a nice save by Churro. Now it's worked by Gammer. Gammer plays it up to Josh Fricks. Over to Quinn Ryan. Ryan has to avoid number 11, Bailey Marshall, but regroups as Marshall knocks it out of the zone.
And Sam, in this game, something has to give looking numbers-wise. It's the best power play unit in the ESCHL for Liberty, just over 30%, against the best penalty kill for Arizona in the Western Collegiate Hockey League, 91.5%. A battle of two teams on the special teams that know how to get their job done.
Good chance for Liberty, but it's cleared out by Arizona. It's Quinn Ryan, who will work back in his own zone and will set up behind the net of Hallpenny. 55 seconds remains on the man advantage for the Flames as Nelson with it. Garrett Nelson plays it up to Devin Pierce. Pierce will skate up the ice. Pierce works it down low, pressured. He'll play it up to Jacob Fricks, who feeds Garrett Nelson. Now Nelson in deep. Trying to play it down low. Bochinski plays it up to Roberts. Fricks tries to work to the middle. He finds Nelson. Nelson over to Pierce. Now back to Nelson. Gives it to Fricks. Fricks a shot. And a great block from Blumhoff to clear it out for Arizona. And yet another block shot for the Wildcats, Casey.
4-1 in favor of Arizona. And if you're Fricks, you have to take the shot earlier in that time. Only one shot so far in this power play, and it was a block shot.
Here comes a rush from Cox. He backhands it on. He scores! Ryan Cox ties it at 1 on the power play.
What a shot near side. It was a near side, short side shot. It was a backhander, and I don't think that Churro saw this one coming. It went through the 5-hole on first look, and that was just flat out speed. Ryan Cox dangling down the near side. He backhanded it, and it hit off the pad and rolled through 5-hole.
And a great effort from Cox to drive it hard to the net. A great backhand through the 5-hole. And here we go, Casey. 8:55 to go in the first. We're tied at 1 between Liberty and Arizona.
And Sam, just another example of how scorers who aren't exactly known for scoring can come up big. Cox, only 5 goals in the regular season, comes up with the biggest one of his young career here at Nationals.
Liberty goal scored by number 15, Ryan Cox. Assisted by number 8, Josh Hamilton, and number 37, Victor Blomberg at 11:05. Liberty power play goal scored by Cox, assisted by Hamilton and Blomberg at 11:05.
So Ryan Cox gets Liberty's first goal of the tournament, assisted by Josh Hamilton and Victor Blomberg. And there's what Liberty needed to do. Find something to get going. They get a quick rush on the power play, as we're going to have a media timeout here. You're watching the ACHA Network.
The 2019 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by Aries Sportswear, official merchandise partner of the ACHA. Howie's Hockey Tape, the official tape provider of the ACHA. And the City of Frisco.
And after that media timeout, welcome back to the Comerica Center. Sam Fleming, Casey Roll here with you on the ACHA Network for Liberty and Arizona tied at 1 here, Casey. We've seen a great game so far. Arizona had the momentum early as they get a quick chance here. Quick shot on. Hallpenny with a nice save. Still loose. And it was off the stick of Anthony Cusinelli, but Arizona had the chances early, then Liberty just finding an equalizer. It's been a very good game, back and forth so far.
You know, it has been. Only 9 combined shots for some of the best offensive teams in the country with just over 11 minutes to go. But quickly going back to that last play, Chad Berman on the Arizona bench had both his hands up saying, "Are you kidding me? How could that be a call? How could that be a stoppage in play when the puck was rolling free?" As Liberty ices it down the far side.
So the icing for the Flames, they'll redo it to the left side of Hallpenny.
And you know, Sam, I've noticed something with this Liberty defense that I've really started to like. The defensemen are forcing these Arizona forwards who have a plethora of speed to work it to the outside, limiting shots. The 5 shots on net for Arizona right now, 3 of them have come short-sided, which have been easy saves for Hallpenny.
And that's something that you have to do with this Arizona team. You do have to keep them outside if you want to prevent any scoring chances with that top line especially. Delayed offsides here as Bochinski lost the puck. And coming the other way is Bailey Marshall. Marshall's pressured by Bochinski. Great effort from Jordan Bochinski. He'll come the other way with the puck into the zone. Off-angle shot is saved by Chiro. Now Marshall with it down low. He battles with Cole Gammer.
That's another great way for Liberty to combat this Arizona offense. Bochinski, a perfect back check that time, just ripping it for a Marshall, and it continues in the attacking zone for Liberty, and it creates scoring chances.
Fricks chips it in for Brock Thompson in deep. Arizona will look to clear it out of the zone. Now working up the wall are the Wildcats. It was chipped down by Cusinelli, and this will be icing against Arizona.
And that's big right there, Sam. This Arizona team was on the ice for an extended period of time from our break because it's an icing by the offending team. They cannot change lines with the puck coming back in the Arizona defensive zone.
And you see a lot of these players hunched over for Arizona. They are gassed here early, 7:21 to go in the first. This is a good chance. Liberty's top line out there to get an opportunity.
And this is what you want if you're the Flames. You have Arizona's top scoring line right now taking defensive faceoffs. Drain some energy and create chances knowing that some of their best defending forwards and two-way forwards are now in the ice. And immediately as it clears the zone, Arizona makes a line change.
Fricks works it in, look to leave it for Brock Thompson. We're going to have a hand pass indicated by the referee here. And Sam Fleming and Casey Roll here with you. 7:04 to go in the first. Remember, if you would like to catch up on all the action for ACHA hockey, ACHA Men's Division I and Division II, you can tune in to ACHA Tonight right here on the ACHA Network with Matt Coma.
Well, so far, 2 goals in a span of 13 minutes when it looked like in the first 15 seconds our highlight of this game was going to be another glass repair, one down the end board. So 2 goals in 13 minutes. Offense has been showing so far.
Great matchup. A lot of people looking forward to this one. Maybe one of the best games of the early tournament stages, as Fricks is going to be pressured hard here by the Arizona goal scorer, Larson. Now worked out in front, tried to feed it on. Here comes a chance for Arizona, and ripped high over the net by Keelan Olnick. Now it's repossessed by Fricks, who gets it up to Josh Hamilton. Hamilton chips it in.
And if you're Liberty, you cannot allow that to happen. When the puck is in the corner, make them work it up the boards. If you leave room in the slot, it creates a better scoring chance for a very talented offensive team in Arizona.
Now Rowe possesses it. Raymond Rowe works around Cole Gamer into the zone. He tries to work around Crookshank. It's chipped to the corner. Rowe and Crookshank battling deep. Bergen tried to backhand it out. Possessed by the Wildcats. Quick shot on the off angle. Thrown wide by Arizona. Shot on. Another chance for the Wildcats. Kyle Wade throws it wide. Now it's Devin Pierce for Liberty. Pierce tried to feed it on for Gamer. Just out of his reach. Gamer will get it in the corner. Battling with Caden Armstrong. Still looking for it. A feed looking for Bergen. Was poked wide by Wade. As Crookshank looks to find it in his feet, unable to get it momentarily. Wade pressured, but finally possessed by Crookshank. He'll get a line change for the Flames. Again, 5:35 to go in the first. Still 1-1 between Liberty and Arizona.
That one could have been dangerous. With this Arizona speed, a loose puck out at neutral with only one defenseman back. It could have been an easy 2-on-1, but just another harmless clearing attempt.
As they work it down low. Fricks trying to find it in his feet. A couple of plays here for Liberty where they've gotten caught up in the skates and they've just had to send it in low. Now Fricks battles for it. Arizona will possess it. Working in deep is Dungy. Dungy intercepted by Quinn Ryan. Ryan, nice feed to Reynolds. Reynolds steps into a shot off the pads. Big rebound. And Thompson tried to put it home, but a nice save by Churro as Arizona finally regains possession. The Wildcats flip it high into the air, looking over. Be sent in by Wade, and Halpenny will come out to settle it for Reynolds.
Lucky break there for Arizona in the defensive zone. It was a centering pass down the far side, initially intended to go to the high slot. It whipped all the way to the top of the near circle. A great scoring chance with an open shooting lane, but luckily for Arizona, Anthony Churro, one of the best netminders in the country, a simple save in an unsimple shot.
Quick shot on is saved by Halpenny off the stick of Olnick, and we had a little pushing and shoving out in front. The referees and linesmen there to quickly break it up. Once the first period ends, stick around for intermission coverage with Thomas Biondo and Jay Sewell. They'll have a recap of the first period and look forward to the second period. You can stay right here with us on the broadcast to hear from them. They just finished calling the Davenport and UCO game.
Sam, let's make a little wager right now. What are the odds that there are more goals scored in this game than the amount of outfits Jay Sewell will have by Championship Tuesday in the Division I bracket?
That's a good question.
What's more likely is the better question.
I think Jay Sewell will have more outfits. I'll go with that one.
It's day 3. He's had 3 different outfits right now.
As Cox works it in deep down low. Now it's possessed by the Wildcats skating up the ice. It's Larson. Larson works it in deep. He battles with the number 6 for the Flames, Jacob Fricks. Larson trying to move it away from Fricks. And now Fricks gets it, loses his stick in the process, but still has the puck. Tried to play it with the butt end of the stick, but Arizona works it in deep. Now forced back by Nelson to Fricks as he plays it up to Josh Hamilton.
I think the Wildcats got away with the hooking call that time. He just wrapped the stick out of his hands and went to the ice, held his hands up trying to tackle the near linesman Brendan Ast, wanting a penalty, but none was called.
Armstrong tried to play it over to the wall. He was looking for number 12, Christopher Westland. Now it's Crookshank to get it in his defensive zone. And again, the same pane of glass has come dislodged, and I'm pretty sure it's the same players who did it the first time, as Matt Crookshank was hit into the glass the first time, and it came dislodged. I believe he was hit by Westland again. So maybe blame Matt Crookshank for breaking the glass twice?
I think they have to blame everyone on the Division I hockey side. And, you know, Sam, they're selling shirts, they're selling polos, pucks in some case. With the amount of glass that's been gone through, there's already been a sheet that's been repaired today. Why not sell pieces of broken plexiglass and dislodged plexiglass at the souvenir shack? You could probably make, what, a good $20, $30 off a piece of glass?
Probably so. That'd be interesting to get some game-used glass.
I can't say I've ever heard of game-used glass being sold, and now they're sending everybody off the ice.
They are sending everybody to the dressing room. Now let's hear what Andy Storrs will get. Are they going to do an ice cut? Now this is an interesting scenario here, folks.
Sam, what it might be, you are right. It might be an ice cut because with the way that this ice has been playing and with how the boards have become dislodged and or needed repairs, you might as well take as much time as you need right now, knowing that the playing conditions aren't exactly where they need to be, especially only on day 3, knowing that games continue on until Tuesday. So the construction crew and the repair crew working out the ladders behind the glass, they were cutting sheets of ice earlier today, not only because there was one that was busted down the far side, but they were cutting multiple sheets in the event that something happened like this in a later game as it did right now.
So here is what they're going to do. I got an update just moments ago. They are going to cut the ice and fix the glass. The goalies will stay in the same spot. They'll do 3:25, and the period will end, and then they will do a full 20 and then have the second intermission. So we're going to get a intermission here, Casey. So we still have a little bit of the first period to finish up. But your thoughts early here on this game, it has not disappointed as advertised.
It has not, and even though there are only a combined 13 shots on net, 7 for Liberty and 6 for Arizona, there have been a plethora of scoring chances. They've been created off of forechecks for Liberty, and for Arizona, the speed of their forwards have beaten the Liberty back line as of right now. It's created short side shots, rebounds, but these goaltenders have been as good as advertised. Churro for the Wildcats and Hallpenny for the Flames, some of the top goalies in their respective conferences, both sporting sub-2 goals against averages. It's going to be really tough to try to beat these guys if they don't continue to try to play the way they have right now.
We'll take a little bit of a break here and be back for the remaining 3:25 and then the second period here from Arizona and Liberty. But while after we take a break, you'll hear from Thomas Biondo and Jay Sewell on their thoughts on the early stages of this first period. Again, you're listening to the ACHA Network here at the ACHA Men's Division I National Tournament.
Discounts and special benefits are available for all ACHA membership and fans, as detailed on the ACHA website. Budget car rental, get out of the ordinary. By the Dallas Stars, when you're not watching exciting ACHA action here at Nationals, consider taking in an upcoming Stars game. By Edge Protect, the official 2019 ACHA Nationals provider of goalpost warm-up skate protection, protecting skate blades all over the world since 2004. They are also the official provider of the Piranha Pack goal anchors being utilized throughout the 2019 National Championship Tournament. By the Frisco Convention and Visitors Bureau. Visit Frisco.com. By Hogan Transportation, a national tournament partner for 2019, Hogan is one of the largest, fastest growing, and most respected transportation service providers in the U.S.
Yeah, hang on, I'm listening to a sheet. Now I'm good.
And yes, that is a Hogan Transportation truck you may have seen outside the arena today.
Well, it's not very often you get this. A first intermission that's going to start with 3 minutes and 15 seconds left to go in the first, but that's what we have here between the Liberty Flames and the Arizona Wildcats. I'm Thomas, that's Jay. We're going to talk a little bit about what happened in that first period of play, a period that, again, still has 3:15 left in it, but it sees the two teams tied at 1, based on really what has been one of the more entertaining first periods we've seen in this tournament.
Yeah, what's interesting is Arizona opened up the scoring. Cox got a goal, followed by Hamilton and Bloomberg at 11:05. And I'm sorry, that's a Liberty goal. We should say Larson, number 6 from Decker, 25. They opened up the scoring, even strength goal. And it took Liberty about 5 minutes to get their legs out from underneath them, and when they did, they came on strong.
Yeah, it's funny that you should say that, because one of the notes that I have is that the Liberty netminder, Hal Penny, he made 3 or 4 big stops. Yeah, he gave up the early goal, but he made 3 or 4 big stops that helped keep this game close early.
Yeah, and then the unfortunate, you kill the penalty off just about when 7 seconds left in the penalty, the goal squeeze, and that was the goal from Cox, Hamilton, and Bloomberg. And what's interesting is both of these goals were not scored by scoring leaders or people that have led the team. This is second and third line that are contributing, just like we had earlier with Minot, with that kid Killian from New Prague, Minnesota, coming up and just crushing it. He had the equivalent of what I call an ACH Gordie Howe hat trick. He had a point, he had 2 penalties, and a goal.
That's it. That's what you need. And I don't appreciate you stealing my notes, because that was my next note down was the fact that it's the big scorers here. You got 2 of the top lines in the country, basically 6 guys in the top 30 in scoring. They don't factor in on the score sheet, neither of the first 2 goals.
And that's the great part of not only college sports, but even the tournament. The tournament brings out, there is always that key to the game, that hero that you don't get in the normal course of the game. And that's what's fun about this tournament. And it's been interesting so far. The first 4 seeds are all through.
Yep.
As well as the only odd game that we had that went against was when Jamestown, number 16 seed, got beat by Robert Morris of Illinois in an overtime game, which was a very exciting game, but Robert Morris prevailed. But other than that, all the seeds are through. Ohio, number 4, Adrian, number 3, Michigan, number 2, and Lindenwood, number 1. And then today, we had Iowa, Minot, and Davenport, 5, 6, and 7. So I guess Arizona's hoping that this trend continues and the top 8 seeds make it into the tournament. But this pairing is actually 2 at-large bids.
Yep, 2 at-large bids, and 2 at-large bids that, seem to mirror each other a lot. I beg your pardon, because I tell you, we've seen a lot of good hockey so far in this tournament. We've seen some evenly matched teams. We've seen some teams not so much, but this was the game that I think a lot of people coming into the day were talking about how good it was probably going to be. And I feel like it's been end-to-end. It's rare that you see a game combined, they're under 15 shots through the first, 17 minutes in this situation. But that doesn't mean it hasn't been exciting. We've gone end-to-end, big hits as well as big saves.
Yeah, in the last game that we had prior to this one was Davenport, and that's the largest scoring game. They scored 8 on Central Oklahoma. That was almost a 40-minute delay for a glass panel that had to be replaced. And lo and behold, right into this game, the first hit that came down, the glass separated, wasn't broke, had to be fixed. And here we are in another glass delay. How many times in 2 games have you seen 3 times at the glass? And that's why we don't have a full period in the first period.
Once again, stealing my notes. 15 seconds in, we have our glass delay. It's like you're looking at the same sheet here.
I see it right
Yeah,
there.
okay, all right. But again, we do want to mention, though, we have not heard from them yet. Those names that you do want to hear about, Marshall, the leading scorer for Arizona, one of the leaders in the country. He is 3rd in the nation with 74 points. Not far behind him, number 19, Ryan for Liberty. He's got 58 points. And you feel like if there's going to be separation in this game, it's going to come from one of those 2 guys, one of their 2 lines.
Yeah, in Arizona, I got to do a shout out to Coach Berman. I have not seen him in a year, and he's pulled me aside and said hello to me. And the last time I talked with him was a year ago. And, just a personable guy, but he's got a real fiery team underneath him. These guys want to win. And what's fun about this is that the last game we saw was a speed game with a little bit of, I should say a little bit of skill, but not all that big. Right. This is, both of these teams, an amazing speed game, and these kids are huge.
Yeah, absolutely. Folks, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about the tournament. This guy got us started. We're going to take it home the rest of the way. We're going to take a quick break. Come on back. You're watching the first intermission update of the ACHA Men's 2019 National Tournament, Game 4 of the day.
We the people. We are innovators, dreamers, leaders. Yeah, we feel pain. We get tired, but it won't stop us. God's call is our pursuit, and we will champion His name.
Come on! You know the answer. You studied for this. Come on. Timmy! Come on, Timmy. You got this, son. Pencil to paper. Focus. Come on, Timmy. Focus. Focus. Take the puck. There you go. Skate! Skate! Pass it! You call that a pass? What are you doing? You missed the puck! Come on!
Skating was hard at first. Sometimes I fell, but I always got back up. Now when I'm skating, I feel like a rocket, or maybe a race car. Something really fast. It's my second favorite feeling. Scoring is my favorite. I think I like it even more than birthday cake.
The world is changing faster than ever. We'll live longer, see more, experience more. And when you live in a place where every flash of green, every drop of water, and every sunset inspires you, you're compelled to do extraordinary things. Your future is here.
There are a few things that come along that change the course of history. Inventions or developments that reshape society. They usually aren't appreciated at first. In fact, they're often scoffed at. What good will that be?
Hello? Hi.
Surely that can't be practical.
She loves to see you.
But then, slowly, over time, the greatness of these achievements become manifest.
Hi!
Until one day, you ask yourself how you ever lived without them. That's the nature of turning points. They bring us to new roads and new heights. They open doors we never thought possible. So it's important that we go forward together.
I'm here with Gina.
That our growth might not just benefit the great, but the good also. In small ways, and in grand ones.
Dad.
The test of our progress is not whether we add more to the abundance of those who have much. It is whether we provide enough for those who have too little.
At Wilson Electronics, we push every day to amplify the power of communication, to connect those who love and those who cannot live without it.
Dallas, Texas, in a stadium that has been sold out for months, the Cotton Bowl.
Notre Dame leading 17-14. 1:10 remaining in the game, and Texas will straight at quarterback. Straight gets to the second man for a touchdown for Texas.
The 2020 Bridgestone NHL Winter Classic, an annual celebration of hockey's heritage. Tickets on sale April 23rd. The Cotton Bowl, New Year's Day. It's gonna be a classic.
The Dallas Stars, have put on camps like this, and we're just really trying to build hockey in the communities around Dallas.
Learn to skate and play hockey for free at Children's Health Star Centers. All throughout DFW, kids ages 4 to 14 can join Rookies programs presented by Lexus. Equipment is included and kids will get a free jersey to take home. For more information, visit dallasstars.com/rookies.
And we are back to the Comerica Center and the extended first intermission update here as Arizona and Liberty have been hitting each other so hard they've broken the glass not once but twice. They've also equaled up at the scoreboard at 1-1.
Yeah, and that's how we got here with the delay, and we're going to figure out how to put the 3 minutes back on the clock and what we're going to do from there. So maybe we're going to have a long second period.
We're going to have that exciting moment where the horn is going to sound and they're not going to clear the ice. They're going to flip sides, move to center ice, face off, and let's play period 2.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, just make the side change. And but yeah, again, we saw a good game so far with Arizona opening up the scoring just a few minutes in, and then followed by a power play goal. So we're tied up 1-1. But yeah, I guess let's talk about some of the matches up tomorrow. We're waiting for one more seed to drop in and the winner of this game.
Yeah, and actually, before we get there, let's take it back to the beginning, Jay.
There you go.
Let's talk about how, first of all, the rankings first come out, and everybody's unhappy with where they're ranked at. And so far, we're looking at 1 through 8.
Yeah, and every year as you go through a season, coaches, parents, players watch the rankings. They come out every couple of weeks. The last one came out right before the tournament, ranking the top 20 teams. The top 17 teams are here, and the reason that happens is because there are 6 conferences that have an auto bid.
Yep.
And we're watching 2 of those auto bids tonight. We've got Liberty from the ESCHL, as well as Arizona's from the Western Collegiate Hockey League. Those are 2 auto bids. Yep. But because of the auto bid situation, half of the 6 auto bid teams ended up getting into the ranking, so they're fine.
Right.
But the bottom 3 bumped the last 3.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. We had Syracuse get bumped by Drexel. We had Colorado get bumped by University of Buffalo. And we had Western Michigan bumped by Robert Morris, Pennsylvania. And all 3 of those teams went down in the first round.
Which is also interesting because without that happening, we would have had, I believe, 19 of the 20 teams returning from last year's tournament. Would have been right back here. Well, they were in Columbus last year, but you get the idea. We'll be right back in the tournament this year. So those were new faces, but again, they did not fare well on day 1.
No, and but what is interesting again is with all the grousing all year long about the rankings, the computers have gotten it right all the time. And this is the second year that you and I have been involved in the national tournament. And the year before that, I think it's always one of the top 4 seeds always make it. And right now, we have seeds 1 through 7 making it straight through, and I guess Arizona's hoping again, like we said earlier, that they're the 8th seed, that they make the 8th one. But you get down to 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
There's an interesting setup there that you have to look at.
Very true. So we'll go back a couple more days. Let's go back to Thursday, where we started with 4 games on that first day, and it's funny. In 3 of the games from the first day last year, one was an 8. There were 2 8-1 finals, 1 7-1 final. This year, all the games decided by 3 goals or less.
players. One on Lindenwood is Matt Runyon, number 6. And then on Minot, number 18, Austin Killian. And then I'm going to throw in number 21, Drake Cartwright from Central Oklahoma. They all come from a tiny little area just south of Minneapolis. And so now Killian and Runyon are alumni of my high school, and having played hockey there. And here we've got 3 people in a tournament from a tiny little 3,000 person town.
Well, I can tell you this, there's nobody from my high school playing in this tournament because my high school did not survive 2 years after I left. I mean, it had nothing to do with me. I'm just saying 2 years after I left, it closed. But that's really neither here nor there.
Was that like that National Lampoon yearbook where it said, put A-bomb here?
Yeah, that was pretty much it. As you mentioned, Robert Morris loses to Lindenwood. They got the victory in overtime in a game against Jamestown, and I know that game really surprised you because you were really high on the Jimmies coming into this tournament, and they kind of let you down a little bit.
Yeah, they did, and Jamestown has always played a very, very heavy game, and this is the second time. The first year they were ineligible. They were 3 years in a D1. The program opened up as a D1 program, so it wasn't like they had to go through D2 and earn their stripes and get solicited in, because again, there's 600 teams in the ACHA, and you've only got the top 60 in D1. So the top 10%, they moved right into that top 10% slot their inaugural year, but ineligible because of the inaugural year. And then they made the tournament last year. They made the tournament this year, but they've been jinxed. They play a heavy game all season long. And when it comes to the tournament, all of a sudden it's a north-south game. Yep. All that creative east-west seems to disappear. And they're just going to have to figure that out. They've had 2 coaches in 3 years. Now this is the second year of the coach. I think they just need to kind of smooth things out. And now they going into their 4th year, now this will be the head coach's team.
Yep. And we had one more Thursday game leading into a Friday matchup as Oklahoma downs Drexel in a game where they led 4-0 after 2. They end up holding on 5-4. Drexel player named Lim, number 16, had 4 points in that third period, just couldn't help Oklahoma get the equalizer. Oklahoma would go on to play U of M Dearborn. U of M Dearborn gets the 6-1 victory in that game yesterday.
Yeah, but I would say out of most all 8 matchups that we've had so far, we're down to, I guess actually it's down to 11, the matchups that we've had. The goalies, in either one of the teams, there's been a goalie that, I mean, we could have an all-tournament goalie team.
You're exactly right.
Yeah, I mean, we could have 20 kids that could make this team, the all-tournament goalie team, because I don't know who I would pick.
Yeah,
even on ones that have not prevailed and aren't moving on. There have been some spectacular energy and athleticism out of the goalies this year.
The netminder for the Jimmies really jumps out as one that just had an excellent game. And again, as we mentioned, the netminder from Missouri State, those guys really played their hearts out in the games that they had, and sadly they go home. And as we've kind of bridged together, the Thursday games to the Friday games, now today what's going on? Iowa State comes out in the early game, a 4-0 victory over Stony Brook. They came out and 4-0, it really wasn't even that close.
No, it was a dominant, and I don't know what happened with Stony Brook. If you go back and look at the tape or look at the game, they did one of the better teams of establishing the cycle down low, but it didn't really go anywhere. They ended up cycling the puck 3 or 4 times, but they were never able to push it into the middle or get that person wheeling through the center, the cutoff person, to put the net in. It just sort of broke down, and again, just because of the size that was put on by Iowa State.
And let's kind of stay right there. We've talked about both of the games individually. Now let's talk about tomorrow's game that's coming up. Ohio will play Iowa State. That'll be the first game of the day, and should be a good one.
That's like an interconference rivalry. Yeah. I mean, these guys have seen each other before. I've been interested on single games, teams that have never seen each other before. Just like today, Davenport and Central Oklahoma never meeting before. Within the first period, there's a game within the game amongst many of the players. There's a lot of chippiness, a lot of numbers being taken, and I've always said it's an Old Testament game. It's eye for an eye. You shove me, I shove you. You hook me, I hook you.
And you don't back down. And I tell you what, since you gave an awesome, what we call in the business, a segue, let's stay with that Davenport game. They get the 8-3 victory over over Central Oklahoma. a game where they led 5-0. About 15 minutes into it, they scored 3 goals in a 3-minute stretch midway through the first. Really put the hurt on Central Oklahoma. It never really looked like they could recover.
Yeah.
And Davenport skated away with the 8-3 win.
And they pulled the goalie, and Campbell came in, and again, that lad, he put on a goalie clinic. He was the only goal scored against him, pretty much left out to dry. There was one point there where I remember him late in the third period kneeling down. He wasn't hurt, but getting up. I mean, he was gassed, and they put so much rubber on him, and he just stood his ground. I mean, point blank within 20 feet, right down the downtown, right down Main Street. That kid just stood tall.
He did. He absolutely did. But again, Davenport just kept coming, and eventually they would get home on Main Street, and they end up their victory gives them a matchup against U of M Dearborn, a team that they have played, going back to a point that you made earlier. So it's U of M Dearborn, Davenport in the 5 o'clock game tomorrow. They split a series at Patterson Ice Center, home of the Panthers, just before Christmas this year. So they are a little familiar, and each of those games 1-goal games.
So is there any carryover or scores to settle?
I'm sure there are. I remember their old GLCHL foes as well, with Dearborn becoming an independent. So there's not a lot of love lost between those two squads.
Okay, so I got to ask you, Tom. We've got Lindenwood, number 1, Michigan Dearborn, number 2, Adrian, number 3, Ohio, number 4. Who do you like?
I really like the Adrian College Bulldogs, and they're just, we've seen it. Defending national champions are hard to get off. But boy, I tell you, that Davenport team really did impress me today. And one more thing we want to talk about before I wrap up this intermission update. We did mention Adrian. Their victory yesterday over Missouri State gives them a victory, or allows them to play Minot, who they got a 5-3 victory today over Illinois.
Yep.
So with that kind of gives you a look of what's coming up, what's happened, what's coming up next, what's coming up tomorrow. What's coming up next is the second period of this 1-1 game between Arizona
We the people. We are innovators, dreamers, leaders. Yeah, we feel pain. we get tired. But it won't stop us. God's call is our pursuit, and we will champion His name.
Come on! You know the answer. You studied for this. Come on. Timmy! Come on, Timmy. You got this, son. Pencil to paper. Focus. Come on, Timmy. Focus. Focus. Take the puck. There you go. Skate! Skate! Pass it! You call that a pass? What are you doing? You missed the puck! Come on!
Skating was hard at first. Sometimes I fell, but I always got back up. Now when I'm skating, I feel like a rocket, or maybe a race car. Something really fast. It's my second favorite feeling. Scoring is my favorite. I think I like it even more than birthday cake.
The world is changing faster than ever. We'll live longer, see more, experience more. And when you live in a place where every flash of green, every drop of water, and every sunset inspires you, you're compelled to do extraordinary things. Your future is here.
There are a few things that come along that change the course of history. Inventions or developments that reshape society. They usually aren't appreciated at first. In fact, they're often scoffed at. What good will that be?
Hello? Hi.
Surely that can't be practical.
She loves to see you.
But then, slowly, over time, the greatness of these achievements become manifest.
Hi!
Until one day, you ask yourself how you ever lived without them. That's the nature of turning points. They bring us to new roads and new heights. They open doors we never thought possible. So it's important that we go forward together.
I'm here with Gina.
That our growth might not just benefit the great, but the good also. In small ways, and in grand ones.
Dad.
The test of our progress is not whether we add more to the abundance of those who have much. It is whether we provide enough for those who have too little.
At Wilson Electronics, we push every day to amplify the power of communication, to connect those who love and those who cannot live without it.
Cotton Bowl.
Notre Dame leading 17-14. 1:10 remaining in the game, and Texas will Street at quarterback. Street gets to the second man for a touchdown for Texas.
The 2020 Bridgestone NHL Winter Classic, an annual celebration of hockey's heritage. Tickets on sale April 23rd. The Cotton Bowl, New Year's Day. It's gonna be a classic.
Hello, fans, and in case if you forgot about us, it's been a while. Sam Fleming and Casey Roll here with you on the ACHA Network, here for the call of Liberty and Arizona. Again, we had the glass dislodge, which caused a delay that sent the players to the locker room. They went ahead and cut the ice. What they are going to do is the remaining 3:25 that was on the clock will be played out, and then they will go straight into the second period. No other ice cut, but they will go straight back into play. And while we were away, we'd like to really thank Jay Sewell and Thomas Biondo over there on the intermission coverage for doing all the content to keep the viewers entertained. We appreciate you sticking with us late here on the ACHA Network. Sam Fleming and my partner Casey Roll beside me. So Casey, it's been a long layoff, yet another one of these almost half-hour layoffs for these teams. What is that like for a player, especially at a level like this, the ACHA Men's Division I National Tournament, of sitting in the locker room for that long and now just coming back to warm up briefly?
Well, Sam, first off, I want to touch upon something. There was a delay in the last game because of an end board glass that was dislodged. So between the second and third periods, 15 seconds into our game, and now the half an hour delay because of one down the near goal line. You know what that tells me? I don't think the hockey gods want today to end. I really don't think they want today to end. It's day 3 of the Division I National Championships. They don't want it to end too soon. Championships are on Tuesday, but no fear, because you can catch up on anything you missed on ACHA Tonight on achahockey.org. Our own Matt Kilma, our executive producer, one of the producers for our broadcaster, hosts every night. So if you want to catch up on some of the hockey action that does not include the glass breaks and the delays, there have been many. That will probably be a large topic of conversation tonight, but in case you missed something, tune in to ACHA Tonight on achahockey.org. We will promise, well, we can't promise you that our lights might not be busted or something might not go well outside of that, so the production or something else. We can tell you that's going to be well, but if there's some equipment malfunctions on the broadcast, that'll just be basically how it has been today. But Sam, anyway, getting back to your point after talking about glass, which has been more so the story today than actual hockey, the national championships for any sport and any level are a big deal. And the fact that it's club hockey and you're on a flight or you're on buses getting here, you're already anxious as is getting to this point. And when you hit the ice, you try to make sure that's out of your mind as much as possible. But when you have delays that long, you can only start to think how much more that can set in once you get back out after delays. And really, you've got some dead legs possibly right now. Once you get warm and once you get loose, you don't want to sit, just like in baseball with the pitcher, because if you sit, you just tense back up. And so we'll see whether or not that affects the skaters right now.
So they reset where the faceoff was going to be, and it's Cole Gammer who works it up to Devin Pierce. We'll recap how we got to this score in a moment, as a quick shot on by Pierce is saved by Churro. Again, still here in the first period, 3:10 to go, as it's played up for the Wildcats, dumped into the zone by Cusinelli. Crookshank will battle in the corner with number 12, Christopher Westland. And now it's Boczynski will get it. He'll play it over to Devin Pierce. Pierce loses it. Gammer chips it down low. And it's picked up by Ben Jones. Nice recovery from Gammer to try to feed it to Boczynski. As now recovered by the Wildcats. Quinn Ryan with it. Ryan working in deep. He moves along the wall. Nice backhand feed for Brock Thompson. Thompson walks in and off the side of the net. I thought for a minute it may have gone top corner, but so far Liberty looks like they've benefited from the long break.
I really like that right there. Thompson was streaking off the bench, came right down the left wing. They weren't expecting it because they didn't know that there was a change. And Thompson, one of the better scorers on this Liberty team, had a wide open look, stepped into a one-timer, and it just paddled aside down the near corner. A great scoring chance, but again, Anthony Churro has been dominant in the 7 Liberty shots he has faced. He has made 7 saves.
Now with it, Fricks. Now plays it to his brother Josh Fricks, and it's going to be worked along by Quinn Ryan. Ryan turns it over. Thompson trying to fight back for it. It's forced to Josh Fricks. Now Fricks plays it up to Nelson. Nelson lost it, sent back in. Liberty will have to regroup.
Great job right there by Liberty. We touched upon it earlier in the broadcast, which seems like years ago, but Liberty on the forecheck, holding these Arizona skaters in their own defensive zone, does not allow them to stretch out and get any attacking chances. And Liberty did that right there, and here they come back in the attack.
Garrett Nelson sends it in. Churro will settle it behind the net, playing it for Matthew Hull. Hull plays it along the wall. It comes to Josh Larson. Larson knocked down by Fricks. Roberts gets it over to Reynolds, who plays it to Lauber. Lauber plays it in deep. This will not be icing as it's picked up down low by Ben Jones. Larson gets the pass for number 13, Matthew Hull. It's cleared up. Roberts intercepts, playing it to Lauber.
That was interesting in my opinion right there, Sam. It was more of a 1-2-2 forecheck for Liberty. They had started the game on a 1-1-2, so they're changing schemes right now and forcing Arizona to make crisp and sharp passes in their own D zone.
Absolutely. We'll get an icing here. It'll go against Liberty. Arizona will get it. 1:10 to go in the first. Then we'll go straight into the second period after about a half an hour delay with the glass, same section where the glass had been knocked off down low in that far corner. So a quick scoring recap. It started off with Arizona 118 in. Josh Larson got the assist from number 25, Trey Decker. And then Liberty tied the game with Ryan Cox at 11:05. Assists from Josh Hamilton and Victor Blomberg. And that's how we got here 1-1.
You can only wonder how many times Kirk Handy, the head coach for Liberty, has been in games similar to this. I mean, 19 years as a head coach, you have to see a lot of stuff, but I don't think I've ever heard of something like this happening today.
A rush for Arizona here is a quick shot on. Hallpenny makes a save from Westland's shot. Again, Kirk Handy, the longtime head coach for the Flames. And Chad Berman, the head coach for the Wildcats, two well-known head coaches at the ACHA Division I level.
Great year for Berman, was named as the WCHL Coach of the Year for the second time in his career. And this Arizona team, we talk about how good they are scoring, Sam. How about in a total of 38 games, they've only allowed 72 goals. That's just mind-boggling to me. For a team that's that good offensively, they'll only allow 72 defensively.
As here's a rush the other way. Quick shot on is saved by Hallpenny off the attempt from number 15, Anthony Cusinelli. And another great save from Hallpenny, settled in nicely after giving up that early goal.
Oh, that's a big no-no. We're going to get a penalty right now in Arizona, which will put Liberty back on the power play for the second time tonight. But Cusinelli streaking down the middle of the ice. Nobody there to beat him. Great save made by Hallpenny, who's playing right now like a #1 goaltender in place of Cole Birek. And now if you're Arizona, this is the danger zone right now. The goal for Liberty was on the power play, just over 30% on the season, the best in a very offensive-minded Eastern State Collegiate Hockey League. This is where players like Quinn Ryan and Brock Thompson can beat you, two very gifted offensive scorers, and they're out on the ice right now.
2 minutes for tripping. So it's the power play for Liberty that will go to work. They are 1 for 1 tonight. Ryan Cox with the goal as Fricks tries to get it. Ryan able to hold it in last 15 seconds. Gamer, one-time shot, a great block shot from Matthew Hull. Now it's worked up to Cole Gamer. Gamer works it along the wall. Final seconds of the period. Liberty's going to have to hurry if they want a chance. Thompson tried to get it. Great defensive breakup and cleared down. And that will do it for the first period. But don't go anywhere. Again, we're going to reset the clock and play the 20 minutes as the goalies will switch ends. But a good first period, the first almost 17 or 18 minutes. And then we had the break, and then a pretty exciting 3-minute stretch there for Liberty. But it does seem like this game is continuing to live up to the bill as advertised as one of the most anticipated games of the evening.
You know, Sam, I didn't give both teams enough credit coming out of the break. I thought there was going to be some lagginess to it with being sitting in over half an hour in the locker room, but both have come out with great intensity, great scoring chances. The forwards have been really forechecking well, creating sides down the boards, and they've created a lot of animosity in a way and a lot of pressure on the back line defensively. That's something that's continued throughout the entire game, so it's continued. It's sort of the pendulum and the way that this game has gone.
Shots evenly balanced, one in favor, only one difference in favor of the Flames, 8-7. As we start the second period now, Quinn Ryan with it. And they A little bit of a face-off discrepancy we'll talk about here. We'll get Casey's stats on that in a second as Gammer rips a shot. A big hit on Fricks, and he is down. Hallpenny to the bench. And that's going to be Christopher Westland, who's going to get called, one of the top players. And you just hope Josh Fricks is okay.
My goodness, that was a shot to the boards right there. Fricks was gliding down the right wing, tried to chip it behind the net.
And it looks like Westland's going to go. And Westland has been sent down the tunnel.
Now, the only thing that's going to be an interesting topic, is it going to be a 10-minute major or a 10-minute and a game misconduct? You can get a 10-minute major without a misconduct, which means you're eligible to return, but a misconduct means you are done and you are sent off. And an interesting thing, Sam, in the American Collegiate Hockey Association, if you get a game misconduct, you are suspended for the next game. So in the event Arizona would move on to the next round, they will be without Westland, who is in the midst of a career year. 34 points and 19 goals. So a huge loss for Chad Berman's team potentially, but even more so for the Flames, who are sending Josh Fricks to the locker room right now. He's being helped off with the assistance of the athletic trainers.
A 5-minute major for boarding and a DQ. Time of the penalties, 22 seconds. Arizona penalties, Westland, a 5-minute major for boarding and a DQ. Time of the penalties, 22 seconds. The major penalties being served by number 23, Charlie James.
So Westland, a 5-minute major and a DQ, so he is done for the game. And now a 5-minute power play for the Flames. Make that a 5-minute, or actually 1:07 of 5-on-3. Now Thompson with it over to Nelson. Thompson tees one up. Great block again from Arizona. And Casey, they have not been afraid to lay the body out.
They have not. And Sam, just to put one other thing to it, a 5-minute major means that you're on the penalty kill for that entire 5-minute span. So no matter whether or not Liberty scores a goal, it's still going to be a 5-minute power play for the Flames no matter what.
Nelson with it. Down low for Ryan. Net comes dislodged. And we'll get a stoppage again. 38 seconds remains on the first penalty for Arizona. And then it'll be another, still 4:23 left on the major. But this is a good chance for the Flames to try to get a lead potentially in this game. But Arizona, again, we cannot talk enough about how many times they have blocked shots in this game, as they've done a really good job sacrificing the body.
That's now 6 blocked shots for Arizona to 1 for Liberty. So Chad Berman's group really doing a great job. And if you're the Flames, you have to forecheck like there's no tomorrow on this power play. 5-on-3, there are less guys on the ice. Make sure you force a bad pass to create an even better scoring chance.
Pierce plays it to Fricks. Now down to Pierce. Pierce works it to Garrett Nelson. Nelson fanned on the shot a bit, but it comes to Zachariah Roberts. Roberts plays it up to Nelson. Nelson down low to Roberts. Roberts off-angle shot is covered up by Chiro, and a punch out in front from Armstrong as he threw, I believe that was Bochinski, to the ground.
Well, Zachariah Roberts also fell down, and it was a bit more of an acting job right there. It was a little nudge to the shoulders. He tried to fall to his back, and he realized the officials was looking at him, so he fell on the ice to try to sell it. It's Dallas. It's the home of the Mavericks. It's not quite the NBA, so we're going to continue 5-on-3.
Nelson with it to Thompson. Final seconds of the 5-on-3. Thompson rifles a shot wide as they will look to get Keelan Olnick back from the box. As Olnick will go out, stepping into it is Nelson. Good save by Chiro. Glove down by Thompson to hold the zone. Nice play from number 9. Now Quinn Ryan will get it. He plays it up to Brock Thompson. Thompson waiting patiently to set something up. He plays it over to Garrett Nelson. Nelson faked the shot, was looking for Quinn Ryan, and a good clear from Arizona to get fresh bodies out. As the man who comes from the box, Olnick, sends it down the ice. Hallpenny settles it for Nelson.
That was one of those slap passes where you fake a shot, it collapses the defense to the shooter, it brings a wide open net down the near side. Thompson just a little bit off task with Jacob Fricks, but here come the Flames again, and a stop made by Chiro.
And Ryan again with a good shot on, just up high again. If you didn't join us earlier, one of the players to make the World University Games, Quinn Ryan, number 19, one of the leading scorers on this Liberty Flames team. And again, a 5-minute major penalty to one of the top players on that number 1 line, Christopher Westland. Still 3:04 going. We're loose out in front. They shoot. They score! Bochinski on the rebound. It's a power play goal for the Flames to take the lead 2-1.
The best scoring chances come on garbage goals. A shot in the slot deflected off the pad of Churro. It was down the far post, and Bochinski hammers it home. A great goal by a great goal scorer, a career year. His 19th of the season, one of the best seasons he's had since joining the Flames in college. And the 22-year-old from Winnipeg, Manitoba, has put the Flames on top of the Wildcats. And this is big here, Sam. There's still 3 minutes on the power play because of the Westland Major. So this is a chance for Liberty to really hammer it down on the Wildcats with this top-ranked power play for the Flames.
Bochinski. Assisted by number 6, Jacob Fricks, at 2:22.
So Bochinski from Fricks. As Fricks tees one up, almost redirected by Roberts, but a great screen from Bochinski on that goal. Chiro couldn't see anything. He taps it on as a stick goes flying. As Chiro gets it, slash out in front on Bochinski. Now a little pushing and shoving after the whistle. And it's settled as Rowe and Bochinski had a little disagreement. Maybe a little frustration here from Arizona with 17:08 to go in the second period.
Yeah, there's definitely frustration to it. A 5-minute major on one of your top players. But quickly going back to this last shot, Churro was out of position, and if Fricks hammered one short side, he might have beaten him, but it looked like it knuckled on the way to the net. Fricks just hammered it, and Churro was trying to reposition himself after the puck took a little bit of an angle to the other side.
Now Arizona down a goal, trailing for the first time in this game. Will try to find something short-handed here. Fed out in front, and that was a golden opportunity for Max Meyer out in front and couldn't settle it. Now a rush the other way for Bochinski. He leaves it for Thompson. Thompson lost it, and Meyer will clear it down, but that was a golden short-handed chance, Casey.
For the Wildcats, who only scored 3 short-handed goals this season, something that they didn't lead the vaunted Western Collegiate Hockey League in offensively, that was as good of a short-handed chance as you will ever get.
Ryan with it. He cuts up top, plays it to Thompson. Still a minute 50 to go on this 5-minute major power play for Liberty, as Ryan will send it in deep. 2 goals on the power play for the Flames, as it's played up top to Bochinski, who plays it to Ryan. Ryan over to Gammer. Now back to Ryan. Ryan shot through traffic, was deflected wide. As Gammer gets it over to Ryan, plays it on for Thompson. Thompson shot, and a good save by Chiro with 16:04 to go. And look at the shots now, Casey, 18-7 in favor of the Flames.
When we started this period back up, it was 7-6 in favor of Arizona. They have not gotten a shot on goal since the start and the resumption of play since the glass was dislodged. Liberty has come out full shooting, and Kirk Handy really trying to get his squad back into things. But if you're Liberty, you cannot beat Anthony Churro short side. They have to work it to the opposite post when they get pucks in deep.
Draw one, Nelson will get it. He plays it over for Pierce. Back to Garrett Nelson, who feeds Jacob Fricks. Fricks' shot, nice save by the pads with Chiro through traffic. As Fricks will get it, he tries to hold it in. Now a chance maybe to go shorthanded. Here come the Wildcats the other way. Quick shot on off Ethan Stahlhutz is saved by Hallpenny.
And this is a smart play right now by Stahlhutz, pinning the puck to the end wall, cleaning off some time on the power play. A very high hockey IQ move.
But Pierce gains it, trying to find Cox out in front, who got the count open for the Flames early on. A collision with Fricks. Nelson able to hold it in. And is this going to be a hand pass? Yes, it will be indicated by the officials. Again, Sam Fleming and Casey Roll here with you on the final game of the ACHA Division I scheduled tonight. But afterwards, if you have missed any of the action from the 3 games prior or the ACHA Division II National Tournament over in Plano, tune into ACHA tonight with our very own Matt Coma to wrap up the action.
I don't think I've ever met somebody who can get changed into outfits as fast as MK can. I mean, the guy looks good too. It's not like he's changing into sweatpants or anything. He's going to full-on tie.
There's a shorthanded chance the other way. Quinn Ryan intercepts, but I got to give Matt Coma a lot of credit. He's been doing a lot of work behind the scenes and being on camera at the same time, and thank him for all he's done along with the great crew behind the scenes as Gammer shoots the shot on as Bochinski gets it, playing it up to Quinn Ryan. Ryan to Gammer. Gammer fanned on the shot, and he's got a quick shot in that roundhouse, that Ovechkin area. We've seen it before, Casey, but just unable to get a stick on it there.
Well, he had Churro beat again, far side. He just whipped on the one-timer. A harder shot than it looks, especially with the rolling puck.
Quick shot on is forced wide, and that's going to do it for the 5-minute major. So Liberty does get one goal. Now a rush the other way here for Arizona. Coming in, it's Dawson Marshall, the other Marshall on this Liberty team. His brother, Bailey Marshall, one of the top scoring players in the ACHA, the third leading scorer, as mentioned by Casey earlier on, as Reynolds plays it up to Ryan Cox. Cox works into the offensive zone. He'll work it in deep. Cox tries to throw one out in front. Unable to do so as it bounces high, but he regains the possession. Battling in deep. Now coming the other way are the Wildcats. Nice play by Reynolds to break it up. He forced it free from Cullen Olson. And this will be sent down, icing waved off. It's going to be picked up by Raymond Rowe. He's met hard by Roberts. He falls down. Hamilton tries to support, but it comes free to Olson. Now cleared down the ice. This will be icing against the Wildcats with 13:51 to go in the second.
One shot on the board for Arizona since the beginning and the resummation of the first period. Liberty has outshot the Flames, Sam, 14-1 in a 20-minute stretch just about.
And that's impressive to see as Bergen gets it back, chipped in deep. We saw that last night in one of the later games that the shot count at one point was 10-1. That was actually the Michigan Dearborn versus Oklahoma game. Oklahoma only had one shot at one point as Crookshank works it in deep with Bochinski, playing it for Devin Pierce. Now up to Crookshank. Crookshank's shot was blocked out in front. Yet another blocked shot by Kyle Wade. Working in deep is Pierce. Now picked up by number 27. That's Max Meyer, but held in by Blomberg. Blomberg shot saved by Chiro once again. And Chiro standing on his head. That'll be the 21st shot he's faced. 19 saves already for number 30 between the pipes in red, white, and blue.
Well, Churro's been good, but Sam, I just want to go quickly back to Christopher Westlund. You look statistically, he's a great offensive player, but earlier in the game, he was the one who was clearing the puck defensively for Arizona. And you look at the stats for Westlund, a great score, but his one negative, a career high in penalty minutes with 77. Just to give you an idea of how bad of a penalty year this has been for Westlund, his previous high before the season was 23 when he was with the Philadelphia Junior Flyers in the EHL. That was 4 years ago. So aggressiveness offensively also hurt him this season on the penalty board.
As Thompson gets it, Thompson works up top, tries to throw a shot on it, was blocked out in front. She blocked off the stick of number 10. That's Dawson Marshall. Now Ryan gets it, plays it up top for Nelson. Nelson steps into it. He throws his shot wide. It'll come over the boards to Josh Larson. Larson tried to play it out. Frick settles it, playing it for Garrett Nelson, who will hoist this one into the air. Bouncing puck settled by Arizona, deflected up and into the scorer's table where public address announcer Andy Storrs is sitting. Again, Sam Fleming, Casey Roll here with you. 12:26 to go on the second period of day number 3 here from Frisco, Texas at the ACHA Division I National Tournament. Arizona will try to get the puck and move it up. Lauber tries to send it back in, but it's going to be played over by Ben Jones. Jones plays it over to number 13, Matthew Hull. Tipped into the zone by Ethan Stallhuth. Now Lauber tried to play it up for Roberts. Possessed by Arizona. Quick shot on, blocked by Lauber. And Casey, now Liberty getting a couple block shots in. There's a quick feed out in front. It's going to come to the Wildcats. Quick shot on, and what a save from Hallpenny off the shot from number 15, Anthony Cusinelli, and that's a huge save from number 30.
Very big one, but Sammy mentioned block shots, only the second of the game for the Flames.
Now it's hoisted into the air. Cusinelli with it again. He tries to backhand it on. He collides with Hallpenny as Roberts gets it. That was a good chance from Cusinelli to possibly even this game at 2. He tips it in, and this will be offsides with 11:33 to go.
The Flames bench held their hands up trying to signal interference. They wanted an interference call in the crease. You cannot get a goaltender interference call, however, if it's a member of your own team that pushes somebody in net. That's why it was a wash, and that's why we remain 5-on-5.
Again, if you're just joining us, we had about a half an hour delay with the glass that had popped out twice, once 15 seconds in and with about 3:25 to go in the first period. So they had to take an extended break to fix the glass, then do a ZAM cut, and they finished the 3:25 and have now just resumed the second 20 minutes. So again, with 11:30 now to go, Flames up 2-1. As Cruikshank with it, he plays it over to Bergen. Now Bergen back to Cruikshank. He plays it up to Blomberg. Blomberg has to settle a bouncing puck. And it's sent back down by the Wildcats. Number 25, Trey Decker, settled by Hallpenny for Bergen. He battles along with Josh Larson. Larson with some help from Trey Decker. Decker tried to throw a quick shot out in front, maybe looking for a stick in the slot. Nobody home, and it's cleared out by the Flames' Victor Blomberg. And down, no icing here, as Boshinski will battle along with number 20, Raymond Rowe. Now coming the other way are the Wildcats. Into the zone is Larson. Larson tried to feed it on. It's intercepted by Brock Thompson. 2-on-2 rush for the Flames if they hurry. Thompson with it. Thompson backhand on. Chiro tried to cover it up, but sticked it into the corner. Larson with it, but that was a good chance from Thompson. A good save, though, from Chiro.
Oh, especially with the line change down the far side. However, if Thompson wasn't out at neutral ice, he could have possibly stretched it to Hamilton, who was waiting on the wings for a breakaway, something that came into favor of Arizona that time.
Now coming the other way is Olsen. Olsen tried to handle it, lost it. Frick's there to pinch in and grab it. He plays it up the wall to Thompson. Thompson tried to play it on for Ryan. Possessed by the Wildcats as Ryan pins his man along the wall. Arizona looking to clear it out by the way of number 29. That's Kyle Wade, still pinned up against the wall. 2 players from each team, now 3 in the scrum. And now Max Meyer gets it and plays it behind the net to number 20. That's Raymond Rowe, and it's sent down the ice as Lauber will pick it up for the Flames.
Good job by Arizona that time, killing off that possible rush. Just throwing it down the boards. It's been Liberty who's kept the middle of the ice occupied. They saw that the boards were empty. He just rifled it down.
And Lauber with it. I'll ask you a question about that in a moment, Casey, as Blomberg will get it. Blomberg with a chance. He finds Boshinski. Here comes Boshinski on the break. He throws a shot on, and it's saved by Anthony Chiro. But we talk about it in our intermission coverages together about certain games, that the neutral zone is one of the most important things. Is we're actually going to get a media timeout, 2-1 in favor of Liberty. You're watching the ACHA National Tournament on the ACHA Network.
The 2019 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by Barron Championship Rings, proud sponsor and championship ring provider for the ACHA. Warrior Sports, the preferred stick supplier of the ACHA. The Dallas Stars. For tickets and more information, visit dallasstars.com. And Southwest Airlines, the official event airline partner of the 2019 ACHA National Championships.
And welcome back to inside the Comerica Center here in Frisco, Texas. Sam Fleming, Casey Roll here with you in the second period of action between number 8 Liberty and number 9 Arizona. 2-1 in favor of the Flames. Shots 23-8 in favor of Liberty. But Casey, we were talking about this earlier, how important it is to control the neutral zone and the boards in these games as a quick shot on thrown wide. But if teams can win the neutral zone and board battles, they have a pretty good shot of winning the hockey game.
It's how Adrian College was only up 1-0 and ended up winning against Missouri State yesterday, because the Ice Bears were winning the neutral zone yesterday, and that's how they were able to stay in touch. But today, right now, the Flames have done a good job of taking away the middle of the ice. Usually you try to clear the board so that way you don't wrap it around and clear the defensive zone or in some cases the attacking zone. But the Flames have made it so that they stay in the middle of the ice so that way they can both play the middle and the boards so that way it doesn't get out to neutral ice. They're winning that battle simply because the forwards for Arizona can't get extended out past the red line, and that's how Liberty has won the neutral zone. It's not defensively, but they're winning it offensively, and in that case, you can't have offense if you're Arizona if you're too busy in the defensive zone.
Hole plays it up the wall. He finds Plumhoff, who chips it into the zone. Now it's Cruikshank to pick it up, hit by Plumhoff. It comes free, poked by Josh Hamilton, still trying to work it out of the Flames. Arizona just dumps it into late offside. They've regrouped. Now Bergen plays it over to Cruikshank. 8:09 to go here in the second period. 2-1 again in favor of Liberty. As it's sent into the far corner where Keelan Olnick will pick it up. Olnick plays it up to Decker. Decker throws it into the air. And it's delayed offside again. Ryan will settle it for Liberty. Quinn Ryan tried to get it to Cole Gammer off the stick of Decker. Now repossessed by the Wildcats. Played over to Decker. Decker finds Meyer. Now Olsen sends it in. Cruikshank gets it. Now it's Matt Cruikshank of Liberty with the puck. He plays it over to Cole Gammer. Gammer with speed on the far side wall. Quick shot on. Saved by Anthony Churro. But something I've noticed about Liberty, since that last goal on that man advantage, they haven't really had a grade A scoring chance in a prime area.
No, they haven't, and Liberty's playing to their strength. They're one of the best power play units in the country, and they're making one of the best penalty killing units in Arizona look bad at 91%. But Sam, I'm noticing something right here. It's interesting how Kirk Handy is changing up his schemes on the forecheck. He's making his first line play more of a 1-1-3 forecheck, and then he takes his second line and goes 2-1-2. So it's interesting in how it's both working against Arizona. Usually you stick with one forecheck if it's working, but he's playing two right now, and he goes right there again. It's a 1-2-2 forecheck after just playing a 2-1-2.
As it's sent back in by Arizona. Jacob Fricks possesses it. We have not seen his brother Josh Fricks return to the game for Liberty, number 83 in the white, blue, and red. Now Arizona with it. Plays it up the wall. Dungy into the zone. Dungy coast to coast here. He'll possess the puck. Poked free by Fricks for the moment. Some help down low. Played up by Marshall. Thompson down low to battle for it as well. It's played to Fricks. Gets it up to Quinn Ryan. Ryan plays it to Nelson, who will just leave it off for Gammer instead. Now Gammer will make a move. Cole Gammer tries to backhand it on for Nelson. Nelson rifles a shot wide, but that's a good play from Cole Gammer to stick with that puck, not giving up on the play, and somehow made a great pass. Just unfortunate Nelson fired it wide.
Beautiful move right there. No-look backhand pass created a great scoring chance.
As Thompson walked in out in front and again made a couple moves, but Churro with another great save. Quinn Ryan with it down low. Ryan tries to throw it out in front, no one there. It comes up to Lauber. Lauber just throws it back in deep, playing it for Brock Thompson, number 9, the alternate captain for the Flames. Thompson leaves it for Reynolds. Reynolds down to Ryan. Backdoor for Thompson. Thompson is denied on the doorstep by Churro. And you cannot say enough about Anthony Churro in this game. 24 saves for number 30.
That was a broken play defensively by Arizona. It was held in at the far point. Thompson just out of nowhere sneaks into the left circle. Nobody on the Wildcats knew he was even on the ice, and it was a great job by Churro transitioning short side to make an easier save instead of having to make a possible stick save going across his body. A phenomenal save, but an even more impressive job by Thompson to just get free down the near wing.
Now Bergen with it. Bergen shot caught up high by Churro, still trying to settle it. Now it comes to Arizona, but poked free as Cruikshank actually lost off the edge of the stick by Marshall.
That's exactly what the Flames have to do. Beat Churro high. You can't beat a goaltender low because of butterfly saves and pad saves. Force him to get up out of the stance, either block the puck down or get rebounds out in front.
Cox will chip it down. Hamilton will race after it. It's picked up by Arizona. Played up the wall by number 15. That's Cusinelli. Now it's controlled by Cruikshank, who will play it over to Josh Bergen. Bergen up to Victor Blomberg, who will gain the blue line and try to work around avoiding a hip check for number 24, Keelan Olnick, or getting the latter half of it. Now working up the wall. Arizona trying to get it. As it was tried to be possessed by Bailey Marshall. It's sent back in by the Flames. Olnick will battle along with Blomberg. Frick's able to hold it in. He tees a shot up. A great block from Bailey Marshall. And Arizona will clear it to center where Garrett Nelson will possess.
And Sam, another new forecheck. That was a 1-3-1.
As Boshinski throws a shot on his handy, continuing to change up the forechecks, maybe confusing Berman and Arizona. But again, Arizona doing really well here to stay in this game, as it seems like Liberty's dominated majority, but Arizona with the speed, they can get right back in and take control themselves. As Pierce with a quick shot, loose out in front of the slot, and I believe Chiro got a pad on it or had some help from his defenders, and yet another great save without the stick.
Sam, that was a really close one. The puck looked like it was just skittering along the goal line. It didn't cross. And for a goal to be in hockey, the whole puck has to cross. Not like in soccer where if the goaltender is across the goal line and his feet are past the line, that's a goal. Not in hockey, but a great play made there by Liberty to make sure that they got a shot high, and it bounced off of Churro, one of the tougher hops you have to control as a goalie. He just did before they could get a second chance.
What has it been about in this tournament with goaltenders and teams that are either trailing or in losing performances that have made fantastic saves? Now, this game long from over. Chiro could be a difference if Arizona is to come back and take the lead. 3:50 to go here in the second. Now it's a rush for Reynolds. Reynolds, quick shot out, he scores, and what a shot from Basil Reynolds, top shelf, extending the lead to 2 for the Flames.
Oh my goodness! You couldn't have scripted a better goal. Just on cue, talking about how Churro has been dominant. An even better shot right there, streaking up the wing. It was a backhanded feed at the dot. Oh my, bar down.
And it was Cole Gammer who left it off. What a heads-up play for him, and Reynolds with the snipe. Quickly in and out of the net. And number 27 gives the 30th shot of the game for Liberty to make it 3-1 in favor of the Flames, and still not a shot, only one shot in this period for Arizona.
Assisted by number 90, Cole Gammer at 16-16. Liberty goal scored by Reynolds, assisted by Gammer at 16-16.
Basil Reynolds from Cole Gammer to extend the lead to 2. As Roberts gets it, he'll chip it into the zone. Now it's played on by Armstrong. Armstrong will settle it. He'll work it up the wall. Now Camden Armstrong plays it over. Worked into the zone. It's Larson trying to feed it out in front from Max Meyer, but Casey, now Arizona, who got the first goal of the game, just 1:18 in, finds themselves trailing by 2, and still with only one shot here in this second frame.
They haven't had a registered shot on net, Sam, in the last 5 minutes. A good centering pass right there at the flex in the slot, but Arizona's got to get better chances out at neutral, and now here come the Flames.
An odd man rush, 3-on-1. Bochinski with it. He waits, feeds it to Pierce. He scores! Devin Pierce, it's 4-1 Liberty.
That's just unfair right there. What a play by Bochinski. He went to a deke, held it a backhand forehand. He got Churro off balance. He bought the shot, and he fed it to the far post. I don't think I've seen a feed that sweet since we got here.
What a play from Bochinski, making Wade fall to the ground, and a nice pass from him. And that's just the patience of this Liberty team, as a tap home goal for Devin Pierce to make it a 3-goal lead. Now Lauver over to Thompson. We'll get the official word from Andy Storrs here in a minute.
Liberty goal scored by number 46, Garrett Nelson. Assisted by number 18, Jordan Bochinski, and number 6, Jacob Fricks at 17-26. Liberty goal scored by Nelson. Assisted by Bochinski and Fricks at 17-26.
So I believe that might be a scoring error, because It was clearly Devin Pierce, but they say Nelson over the PA. I'm sure that'll be adjusted, but it comes from Bocinski and Fricks to give the 4-1 lead, and Liberty just on fire since that long break.
Sam, I want to hit on another topic of discussion. You had mentioned a second ago how when goalies are behind, they tend to play on their heels. I want to talk scoring right now because this tournament has had an MO of players who aren't known for scoring coming up with big goals. For example, that last goal by Devin Pierce, it was his 11th on the season. He's in the midst of a career-high season, so that's a bit different, but going to other players like Basil Reynolds, that's his 3rd goal of the year, and get this, that's his first since the clock turned to 2019, late November of 2018.
And an interesting topic, as you were talking scoring, I was watching the benches. Anthony Cusinelli with the trainer down to the locker room for Arizona. So not only down number 12, Christopher Westland with the 5-minute major and a DQ, now down Cusinelli. So 2 members of that top line not in action for Liberty at the moment. Arizona, as Blomberg works it in deep for the Flames. Now played over to Bocinski. He finds Cruikshank, who tees one up. Nice save from Chiro. How will he settle back in with 1:07 to go here in the second period after giving up 2 goals?
Well, it's one of the crazier times if you're a goalie. If you're Liberty, hammer the puck from the point. Make Churro make stops and avoid giving up rebounds. This is one of the toughest times as a goalie, giving up 2 goals in a span of less than 3 minutes. This is a very important 50 seconds for Churro to end this period.
As Cruikshank gets it, he plays it up the wall to Quinn Ryan. 43 seconds to go. As now coming the other way is Gammer, poking it free from Bailey Marshall. Gammer tried to feed it for Ryan. Ryan shot that one off the side of the netting. Now Thompson with it in down low. Thompson lost it off the edge. 30 seconds to go as Gammer picks it up, feeds it out in front. Backhand on, power play coming up though for the Flames. As it's covered up by Chiro. And it looks like we're going to get a roughing call here. It's going to go against Arizona, and it's Bailey Marshall to the box. So with 24.6 to go, a little bit of a time for Liberty to continue working on that power play that has been oh so successful tonight. 2 for 2 for the Flames. And with how well they're working so far and how much energy they have a good shot to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, well, Churro made a great job in denying both Ryan and Bocinski. There were low shots, easy pad saves, but if you're Arizona right now, this is the last thing you can afford. Down by 3 goals, committing another penalty. Their PK has been great this season, but it has been almost ineffective, if not completely rendered useless by this Flames power play.
Now it's worked up the wall by Bocinski. Final seconds tick down as it's going to be played over to Nelson. Yep. And we're going to get a hand pass indicated with 1.2 to go. And only 1 shot for Arizona in that frame after leading the shots before that delayed break 7-6.
Sam, Arizona this season has averaged 42 shots a game over a 38-game season. If this 1.2 second goes without a shot from the Arizona attacking zone, they will have 8 shots in a span of 40 minutes. That will be the least amount of shots they have had in any game this season through 2 periods.
As the remaining 1.2 to go, Liberty has just seemed to have taken control since that break. It's tied up, and that'll do it. So at the end of 2, Liberty not only dominating on the scoreboard, but also in the shots category. 4-1 the score, 33-8 the shots. And Casey, I've got to ask you, if you're Chad Berman, what are you telling your team in the locker room?
There's nothing really you can say at this point because you're playing your game or trying to play your game. It's just that Liberty has been forechecking without end. They're forechecking like their lives depend on it, and Liberty just not allowing the Wildcats to extend past neutral ice. They can't get offensive scoring chances. They're unable to break the red line, and it's continued to become Flames scoring opportunities. We talked in the pregame about this. If the Flames can do that, they'll take away not only the best scoring chances Arizona could have, but it all but eliminates that top line that Arizona has that's completely dominated the Division I conference this season. And not to make things worse, but Cusinelli and Westland now. We know Westland has a game misconduct, disqualification, but you mentioned Cusinelli went to the locker room with a trainer. You can only imagine how much worse things could be if the third best scorer on this Arizona team can't return, only leaving Marshall, and it's a lot easier, Sam, to key in one score than it is for an entire line. So if you're Chad Berman, maybe start swapping up lines to create some better scoring chances, if not some mismatches defensively.
We'll take a quick break and then send it to Thomas Biondo and Jay Sewell for the intermission report. 4-1 in favor of Liberty. You're listening to the ACHA Network.
Skating was hard at first. Sometimes I fell, but I always got back up. Now when I'm skating, I feel like a rocket, or maybe a race car. Something really fast. It's my second favorite feeling. Scoring is my favorite. I think I like even more than birthday cake.
This guy's not ready. You're not ready. Let's go!
Hockey heads are special, which is why we protect them with a helmet designed, built, and tested to endure real-world hockey impacts.
Flames and the Arizona Wildcats have reached their second intermission, and really it's 23 minutes after their first intermission due to the pane of glass, and I don't know if Arizona ever came back out after that intermission ended.
Well, both teams actually didn't come out with those extra 3 minutes, and they weren't the same. The game looked completely different. They were a little slower, the hitting was less, and then we talked about in the first intermission that one of their scoring leaders, that all the scoring leaders for Arizona weren't showing up. Unfortunately, Christopher Westland is DQ'd after a vicious hit, and it seemed to rattle Arizona more than it did Liberty, and it seemed to rally Liberty. All of a sudden, the air went out of Arizona's balloons very quickly.
Well, and I think a couple reasons for that. You're right. You're right, Anjay. And it was obviously the referee saw it, 5-minute major penalty. It was in the middle of a penalty kill, so it basically ended up being an extended period of time with a 5-on-3 kill. They ended up giving up only 1 goal, so you thought maybe Arizona could build off that good defensive work.
Yeah, they did kill off the 5-on-3.
Right, and they gave up only just 1 on the remaining 4 minutes of penalty kill time, but they never refound it after that.
No, and I was actually in the process of making my notes watching the game that Anthony Creole was standing on his head.
Right.
And all of a sudden, quick 2 goals within less than a minute, and all of a sudden the whole game changed.
But once again, I don't know if he really had a chance on either of them.
No, it's back to, at some point, Arizona, now they have another chance. This is an intermission. They've got, their season's over if they don't do something here in the third period. So I guess, Thomas, what do you think coach has to say to them, Ms. Westland?
Calm down. I think it's as simple as that. Guys, calm down. you've won a lot of hockey this year. Get back to your game. You've got the nation's 4th leading scorer. I mean, you probably maybe don't say that in the locker room, but Arizona does have the nation's 4th leading scorer. They can turn this around still. They just need to find their legs, put what's in the past behind them, and get it going.
Yeah, I mean, when you watch the first, I guess, 17 minutes
right.
of the first period, it looked like Arizona was a force to be reckoned with in this tournament. I started having visions of, Arizona, Dearborn, because again, in the quarters, the whole seating changes.
Right, exactly.
And it reseeds to make sure, because otherwise what would have happened is you'd have the 1 and 2 playing, and they would have never had an opportunity to reach the final. So you have to reseed.
Yep.
So they don't have to play each other to get into the system.
Exactly.
But it was, it looked like they could take on Dearborn. It looked like they could take on Minot. And now I would say Liberty is that team.
Yeah.
I mean, Liberty just, whatever they found in their legs, rallying around the hit, it was unbelievable what they came back with in this period. It was a clinic.
Yeah, it really was. It was complete control of the puck. And we talked about it in the first elongated intermission. You need your big players to be big. Well, Liberty has gotten through this and been really successful with Baczynski actually leading the charge and Fricks leading the second. Those were not the guys. The big three were Ryan, Thompson, Gammer, and I believe Gammer is on the scoreboard with an assist. But it's Baczynski and Fricks each with a goal with 2 points each tonight.
Yeah, and it's Reynolds and Nelson, the goal scorers in the number 3 and number 4. And if you look on the sheet, great players, but these are your lunch pailers. These are the guys that put in the work. These are the guys that eat up a lot of minutes so that those top scorers. And again, the hockey team is built by maybe you're lucky if you have 2 snipers.
Right.
You're lucky if you have 2 or 3 people that can dish the puck and playmakers. A couple of solid defensemen, maybe 1 offensive defenseman and a stay-at-home defenseman. After that, it's the lunch pail work. Those guys eat up minutes. They're out there to eat up the clock, and if they get an opportunity, take it. But that's how hockey is played.
Yeah, there was one time though, and I noted it with about 6 minutes to go in the period. Liberty loaded up. They put Gammer, Thompson, and Ryan out there together with about 14. I wrote down at the 14-minute mark. Is it coincidence that less than 4 minutes later they've scored 2 more? Now, granted, it wasn't necessarily that line, but did they really kind of open something up?
I think they probably did. It's like when the Blackhawks put load up their line when they really need it, and that was the same thing that happened here. You put all your best players. I mean, you would see it even with the Capitals. You would put everybody. You get Backstrom.
That power play's got 5 guys that would be the best player on a lot of teams.
Yeah, it's just incredible. And again, hats off to. For Liberty for staying cool through that whole situation. But if this score gets closer, I mean, again, Arizona, what do they have to do? They have to come out and score, right?
Well, here's the problem with that, though. They committed yet another penalty late in the period, 19:35 the time of it, with Marshall off for roughing. So they actually have to start on the penalty kill before they can even get the offense going.
Yeah, and if you're playing defense almost half the game like they are, then the game gets really, really tiring. It gets really tiring. Playing defense all day, you want to play some offense, and it's tiring.
Yeah, and no better sign of that. Shots were 6-7 at one point. At the point where we took the break, shots are now, I believe, 33-8.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now,
33-8. And I believe if we heard Andy Sturz correctly, 1 Arizona shot, and that would be over that whole entire 23-minute period.
Yeah, and again, I don't know what happened, but both teams didn't come out with their strongest legs. They gathered their legs when we started the second period after 3 minutes of the first period. They switched sides, and you can see, even though everybody was told they knew what was going to happen, there was a little confusion on the ice as, okay, what are we doing? We had the guy in the penalty box from Arizona skate off like he was going to go into the locker room and rest, and they turned him around, spun him around.
That horn usually signifies that.
Yeah. Sorry, lad, please go back into the sin bin.
Exactly. You asked me, what are they saying in Arizona's locker room? What are they saying in Liberty's locker room?
I think in Liberty they're just saying keep the foot on the gas. Do not put your foot on the brake. Don't even tap the brakes. Whatever's working, keep it up.
It's been a theme of this tournament. We've mentioned it a lot because you know what? We've seen it. We've seen it come back and bite. It hasn't come back to be the ultimate bite where a team's ended up losing it, but we've seen some teams questionably kind of lay back, and it's nearly ended up hurting them.
Yeah, and that is that cliche. If you play not to lose, there's a good chance that might be happening, because again, you got to give the other team all that space, and that's what I'm impressed about Liberty is they are just keeping the space, the time and space. Those gaps are so narrow. They're on Arizona, and again, I think Arizona's rattled a little bit because they're just making some stick mistakes, and they got to clean those up in the third period.
Well said, Jay. And then let's see if they can become unrattled in period number 3 and mount a comeback against the Flames. That's going to do it for the second intermission update. That's Jay. I'm Thomas. You're watching the 2019 ACHA Men's Division I National Tournament.
We the people. We are innovators, dreamers, leaders. Yeah, we feel pain. We get tired, but it won't stop us. God's call is our pursuit, and we will champion His name.
Come on! You know the answer. You studied for this. Come on. Timmy! Come on, Timmy. You got this, son. Pencil to paper. Focus. Come on, Timmy. Focus. Focus. Take the puck. There you go. Skate! Skate! Pass it! You call that a pass? What are you doing? You missed the puck! Come on!
There are a few things that come along that change the course of history. Inventions or developments that reshape society. They usually aren't appreciated at first. In fact, they're often scoffed at. What good will that be?
Hello? Hi.
Surely that can't be practical.
She loves to see you.
But then, slowly, over time, the greatness of these achievements become manifest.
Hi!
Until one day, you ask yourself how you ever lived without them. That's the nature of turning points. They bring us to new roads and new heights. They open doors we never thought possible. So it's important that we go forward together.
I'm here with Gina.
That our growth
She's okay.
might not just benefit the great, but the good also.
And welcome back live inside the Comerica Center here in Frisco, Texas. Sam Fleming, Casey Roll here with you on the call of game number 4, the nightcap, the final game of the day here at the ACHA Men's Division I National Tournament, where our score is 4-1 in favor of the Liberty Flames. Shot totals 33-8 in favor of Liberty as well. And Casey, started out very promising for Arizona. That quick goal from Josh Larson. And then after the game was tied by Ryan Cox, and that before that long break, everything just seemed to go downhill. You lose Christopher Westland to a 5-minute and a DQ. Then you see Cusinelli go down the tunnel. We'll wait and see if he is returned to the bench. And then you give up 3 goals, including Liberty just continuing to hammer the breakout and the neutral zone and just attacking every way on the puck. But what does Arizona have to do to try to, as they say, stop the bleeding?
Well, Sam, Chris Berman's got a lot of things he's seen over his hockey career. I don't think he's seen anything as crazy as this. 2 delays for glass repairs in a game in which seemed like Arizona controlled the momentum before the second break. It's been completely flipped, if anything. 1 shot for the Wildcats over the last 23 minutes, and with Bailey Marshall as your only top goal scorer left, this is going to be an interesting dynamic. They're throwing out a different starting line right now. It's the second line out. It's Plumhoff along with Olnick and Matthew Cole to start this third period, so he's already flipping lines right now to start the final 20.
And remember, Liberty on a man advantage for the next minute 30 or so as we start the third and final period of the night from Comerica Center. Again, Sam Fleming, Casey Roll here with you on the call. Now it's chipped in. Chiro plays it out. Reynolds works along the wall. Actually, that's Victor Blomberg, excuse me. Now played up to Quinn Ryan. Ryan over to Garrett Nelson. Nelson back to Quinn Ryan. He feeds Cole Gammer, plays it back up top quickly to Ryan. Shot through traffic, he scores! And from the World College Hockey Games back to the ACHA National Tournament, it's Quinn Ryan who makes it 5-1 for the Flames.
That's just an example of what we talked about to end the second period. You have to beat Churro high. Ryan in the high slot just fired one past the glove side. Sam, 3 of the 5 goals for Liberty have come from Churro's glove side. That was actually a blocker side rather, but just incredible of how this Liberty offense has just exploded against one of the top goalies in the country.
And again, a tough stretch for Arizona. 5 unanswered goals as now they try to get a rush and generate something here, as it was backhanded high over the net by Stallhuth.
At 32 seconds, Liberty power play goal scored by Ryan, assisted by Gammer at 32 seconds.
So we came in a little late there, but it is officially Ryan from Cole Gammer's second assist of the game for Gammer, who had the assist on Basil Reynolds' unbelievable top shelf goal, the 3rd goal of the game, as we're going to get a whistle here. And I'm not sure what we're going to get. This is going to go all the way down. But it seems like these games, Casey, and there's still a lot of time left that we expected to be close, have turned into lopsided tilts here this afternoon and tonight.
They have, and Sam, I also want to mention something else. It seems that some of the best goalies in the country have been tried and really battered. Phil Babb yesterday against Dearborn, the 3rd most saves amongst Division I goalies in the country, was pulled with 3 minutes to go in the game against Dearborn. He got peppered for 7 goals. Right now, Churro, who's in the midst of a career year, 1.9 goals against, had only allowed 5 goals once, has allowed 5 with just over a minute and a half gone in the 3rd period.
So we'll see how Churro can regroup. Again, he gave up another one to start this period. Can he settle in, and can Arizona slowly but surely chip away at the lead if they want to have any hope of advancing on in this national tournament? Larson chips it in. Nelson plays it up the wall to Gammer. 2 assists on the night for number 90 as Ryan tries to chip it around, the most recent goal scorer. Now worked in deep. Battling along for it are the Flames. Cole Gammer up to Fricks. Quick shot on, blocked out in front by Arizona. That's number 19, Justin Plumhoff. Now thrown out in the middle, intercepted by the Wildcats. Laid up to Larson off the stick of number 24, Olnick. Larson in deep. Nelson gets it. Now Garrett Nelson with it.
And Sam, it's another change in the power play for Arizona. It's back Now to a 2-1-2. It hasn't been that way since the first period, so Chad Berman changing it up once again.
Again, we've seen quite a few changes on the forecheck from Kirk Handy, and then Berman throwing a few changes. These coaches' abilities to change on the fly, why they're two of the best at the ACHA level. And again, Liberty had a player reach the ECHL, the professional hockey ranks. Zane Schartz, the third leading scorer in the ACHA last year, now with the Indy Fuel. As now Cruikshank with it. Lays it over to Roberts.
I think the name Zane Schartz came up a bit last week when I was in Reading, Pennsylvania, but not bad for a club hockey guy, I'd say, as the old saying goes.
As the ACHA continues to gain notoriety, a great host in the Dallas Stars this weekend here as it's worked down low, picked up by Armstrong. Armstrong plays it over the wall to Trey Decker. Decker will work behind the net and wheel it up the wall for Larson. Long shift for Larson. He's been out there for a while. Lauber will be pressured. He's pressured by number 19. That's Justin Plumhoff. Left for Boczynski. Boczynski up to Blomberg, who plays a nice chip off the wall to Lauber. Lauber, the defenseman, rushes up the ice, knocked free from him by Decker, and they're going to get a penalty here. And it's going to be a hooking call on Trey Decker, so already up 5-1, 4-goal lead here for the Flames, 16:05 to go in the third, and right back to the power play are the Flames.
2 for 2 today, Liberty against this really good, usually Wildcats penalty kill, and this is the last thing you need for Arizona. You're down by 4 with just over 16 minutes to go. You can't spend as much time as they've had short-handed because that just takes away an opportunities to really stretch the ice.
And actually make that 3 for 3, Casey. Quinn Ryan's goal did come on the power play, so Liberty trying to make it a perfect 4 for 4 here as Thompson works it with Gammer. Ryan over to Gammer. Gammer up top to Ryan. Ryan shot to high and looked like Thompson tried to get a stick on it.
I like the idea. Beat him high. You have to beat Churro high. The last 2 goals have come over the blocker.
Ryan over to Gammer. One-time shot was just deflected wide. Ryan holds it in back to Cole Gammer, who tried to feed it Thompson with a rocket-like pass as Nelson sends it down low to Blomberg. Blomberg quickly tried to spin it and throw it out in front. He's sticking with it on the ice, and it's finally picked up and sent down the ice by Bailey Marshall. Halpenny able to settle it behind. Quinn Ryan will stay out there as the Liberty unit will mostly change. Now Ryan, he delays back. 15:05 to go here in regulation from the final game of the evening, day 3 at the ACHA Men's Division I National Tournament. Sam Fleming, Casey Roll here with you as Boczynski with it. And it was deflected wide by number 13, Matthew Hull. Cleared out. Jacob Fricks will get it. Now played up to Roberts. And Boczynski with it. Again, winner will play Lindenwood, the number 1 ranked team in the country, Casey. And for a game like this, if Liberty holds the result, again, it could be another intriguing matchup on paper, but they're going to have a lot to do differently. Even though Arizona a very tough team and they've done well tonight, it's a whole different animal playing Lindenwood.
Oh, no, exactly, and especially the fact that you can't expect.
As Fricks is shot on, it's poked out in front. We'll get your thoughts here in a minute as Nelson with it. Now Nelson works it down low to Roberts, back to Nelson, and tried to rifle it backdoor for Quinn Ryan. 5 seconds remains on the man advantage, and it's cleared out. And the first time tonight, Arizona will kill off the penalty, but back to the Lindenwood potential Liberty matchup if this result stands.
You can't count on Lindenwood to lose 2 of their top 3 scorers. That's a big thing that stood out to me right now with Arizona, obviously with Westland being sent off for a disqualification and also with Cusinelli being sent off to the bench. He's just backing out for the first time, but he missed a good amount of time because he was taken a look at by the athletic trainers. You can't imagine that Lindenwood will have that same bad luck.
As a big rebound comes out in front, Halpenny's got to stretch out and makes an unbelievable save. And after not being tested much, 1 shot early, now just getting his 2nd shot of the period, and what a save from Josh Halpenny.
I mean, that's just incredible. And just to think, Sam, this isn't Liberty's top guy in between the pipes.
As you take a look at the replay here, he is sprawling out to make this save. Lost it momentarily, and the net actually came dislodged. That's where the whistle came. Maybe a bit of a break as Halpenny was on the ground. But again, not necessarily the starter with Cole Burak, who's normally the number 1 goaltender But Liberty has two great options. They can go either way, either night.
Well, it's pretty nice to know that both your goalies have sub 2 goals against through a 38-plus game season. That's just incredible.
And especially in that conference, as they rush here, great shots as saved again by Halpenny, especially in that ESCHL conference, a very competitive conference. And Liberty's 2 star goaltenders, both seniors though, so their last chance to make a push for a national tournament. Liberty in search of their first, and Arizona also searching for their first national championship.
Sam, you can make a case that the ESCHL has been the best conference in Division I hockey for just about 3 decades. In the 28 years that the Division I conference has had a national championship, 15 of those 18 have come from ESCHL teams.
As an impressive stat line as Thompson tries to get it. He plays it back to Lauber, playing it over to Basil Reynolds. One of the goal scorers, 5 different goal scorers for Liberty tonight. Something Kirk Handy's got to be pleased with, seeing as a big hit from Lauber. He knocks Larson to the ground. But 5 different goal scorers for this Flames team, something impressive to see.
And again, it's a mix of goal scorers. You're not getting your typical guys who just light the lamp on a consistent basis, but you have guys who haven't scored since November, some guys who have less than 5 on the year, and then you have your main dogs going at it. It's a nice mix that really builds a nice dynamic, knowing that semifinals are just around the corner after tomorrow.
I actually got a stat correction. Zane Schartz is with the Toledo Walleye now, as it's worked in deep. And trying to spin around is Cusinelli. He throws the shot wide. Meyer tries to send it back in. Fricks with it over to Nelson. Nelson handles it. Now Garrett Nelson from behind his own net. 11:28 to go in the third and final period. 4-goal lead for Liberty. Shots 35-11 in favor of the Flames. Anthony Chiro will come out to settle it. Plays it on for Raymond Rowe. Now played off the wall by Kyle Wade and chipped into the zone by Dawson Marshall. Will be picked up by Bergen. Bergen over to Cruikshank. Now Charlie James plays it up top. Quick shot thrown high over the net. That was Justin Dungy looking to find it. And Bergen with it. Bergen plays it to Cruikshank. Cruikshank up to Josh Hamilton. Hamilton chicks it on for Ryan Cox. Now plays it to Zachariah Roberts. Roberts is alone, has some help trailing with Ryan Cox. Cox trying to settle it, but a good back check there from Camden Armstrong to break up a chance for Cox to get his second of the game.
Oh, he just whiffed on it. It was in the slot. He had a wide open look, but the puck dribbled off his stick. He tried to backhand it to gain more composure, but it just rolled down the far side. Would have been good night and see you later if that one was on target.
As it's trying to be thrown out in front, Halpenny will cover up. Now a little pushing and shoving out in front of the net of Halpenny as Bergen has Marshall in a headlock.
Now this is where the officials have to be on their head. Sam, we saw it earlier today when Davenport was just shellacking Central Oklahoma. When a team is down by multiple goals, that's really when they start pushing the tempo and the agenda when it comes to showing their physicality off. So you want to try to avoid being too much overcompensated with that.
And we'll take a media timeout here in the third period. 10-12 to go in regulation. You're watching the ACHA National Tournament here on the ACHA Network. And welcome back live inside the Comerica Center. Sam Fleming, Casey Roll here with you. 5-1 in favor of Liberty as we're back underway. Quick shot on from Matthew Hull is thrown wide as Cruikshank will pick it up down low. It's poked free from him by number 11, Bailey Marshall. Marshall tried to work it back. Cruikshank grabs it. And now cleared to center. Arizona will repossess. Ben Jones looks to send it in. Now coming the other way. Marshall, quick shot on stick, save from number 30, Josh Halpenny. Not many shots for Halpenny, just 13. He stopped 12. And has had some incredible saves in those 12 that he has made.
He has, but you also have to give some credit to this Liberty defensive core. They allowed one shot in 23 consecutive minutes from the time where we had paused play in the first because of the glass that had to be fixed, and only one shot the second. So one shot in 23 minutes of consecutive gameplay. That's a testament to how good this defensive core has been, along with the genius of Halpenny.
As it's repossessed by the Wildcats, Larson picks up the puck and will skate up the ice. Larson chips it to the far side wall looking for Trey Decker. Fricks will get it along the wall, battling along with Larson. Now Nelson plays it over to Fricks. Jacob Fricks with it. Now Cole Gammer. Gammer battles for it. 8:38 to go in regulation. As now coming up the ice is Arizona, sent into the zone by number 20 Raymond Rowe and covered up by Halpenny off the dump in.
Yeah, at this point, if you're Arizona, you have to try to crash the glass as much as possible. Shots from the blue line haven't been effective against Halpenny. So what you have to do with that is try to drive to the goal line as much as you can. Just create havoc in front of the net, hoping that Halpenny doesn't make saves on the first shot. You can't beat him straight away when nobody's crowding the net.
As Reynolds gets it over to Lauber, Hamilton plays it up the wall. Now held in by Arizona by number 24, Keelan Olnick. Now the 24 for Liberty, Zachariah Roberts, chips it out. And the Wildcats look to regroup in the neutral zone. And Casey, still a little more than 8 minutes to go here. But for Arizona, a team that won the WCHL this year, the number 9 seed, this is going to be a tough defeat for head coach Chad Berman and his side. What does this team need to look to regroup for? Again, last year, as a chance here for Roberts, he'll work it in deep. And Roberts with it. We'll get back to that thought in a moment as it's possessed by Andy Clark. First time we've called his name tonight, and he fed it out in front looking for Zach Hayes. Now Hayes with it. Now Clark up to Bergen, and Bergen lost it off the edge of his stick. But for a team that went 1-1 in the national tournament last year, they beat Missouri State on the play-in day and then lost to the number 1 ranked Minot State at the time. And then a tough loss here to the number 8 Liberty Flames. What do they need to do for next season?
Well, I mean, there's still 7:20 to go, so it's not done yet. But with the way that Liberty's been playing, it's just about a win if you can't quite pencil it. But, Sam, I'm looking at the roster right now. Bailey Marshall, along with Westland and Cusinelli, they're all going to be back next season. Marshall's only going to be a junior, same with Westland. And Cusinelli is going to be a junior. So you have your top 3 scorers coming back. Kuro and Bolisic.
As a shot out in front, and Clark taps it home on a beautiful pass from Kyle Crane. And it's 6-1 with 6:50 to go.
That's just been the day that Kuro has had right there. Redirect in front, and we've said it throughout the broadcast. Low shots don't quite beat him, but that time he went with the pad. He didn't try to cover it up. And it took a juicy bounce out in front and an easy goal.
As number 35, Nolan Bivolsic, will now come in for Anthony Chiro. A tough night for number 30. And you hate to see a goaltender like that, that's one of the best in the ACHA, get run like that. 38 shots faced, stopping 32. But back to your point, there's still a lot of players returning for this Arizona team for next year.
There are. Kuro's coming back. Bivolchik, who's in net right now, he'll be back. They're just going to be juniors. But as we take a look at Bivolchik's stats this season, 14 games, 11-2, a 1.85 goals against, which is just amazing as a backup goaltender. 2 shutouts and a 92.5 save percentage for the 23-year-old, standing at 6'2", 185 pounds. So that's going to be back for Arizona next season. But it's just tough luck for Chad Berman because it's been one of the better seasons for Arizona in recent memory. The WCHL is going to be top-notch competition as always next season. But right now it's back to the drawing board. And for Liberty, time to get prepping for the #1 team in the country tomorrow.
Liberty goal scored by Crane, assisted by Clark at 13-10.
So I had it the other way around. It looks like they're going to give Crane the goal from Clark as Arizona here will walk it in. It looked to me like Clark had tapped it home. Hallpenny's going to have to make a save with Marshall out in front. But now it shifts to Lindenwood tomorrow for Liberty. And although Lindenwood will be viewed as the favorites, you talk about teams outside the top 4 that are still in this tournament that could possibly win a national championship. Prime example, you're looking at them, who's leading this game, 6-1 Liberty. A lot of people talking about this team.
Oh, exactly. I mean, Adrian College last season who won, they weren't the #1 team, but Lindenwood had a bit, I don't want to say a struggle against RMU because they won 4-1, but it wasn't as much of a blowout as people thought it would be, so you can't count out a team like Lindenwood. He just put a 6 spot on Arizona.
As Crane works it down looking for Clark. And now Arizona, he's just trying to get something to make the scoreline more respectable, but go out with their heads held high. A great season still to look at, although they did win the national championship. They still get to possess the WCHL conference title, which is a big honor at this level. As the WCHL, much like the ESCHL, more and more becoming one of the most competitive conferences in the ACHA. Now Hayes with it as he flips it high into the air. It's gloved down by number 17, Ben Jones. Jones will regain it. He left it off for Plumhoff. Now coming in is Cusinelli. Cusinelli throws his shot wide, and Roberts will get it and chip it out. Tried to, actually, and it was held in nicely by Charlie James. Cruikshank settles it behind 5:10 to go in the third period. Sam Fleming and Casey Roll here with you on the final call of the night, as this is going to be a penalty against Arizona as a shot to the head and we've got a throwdown between Bergen and Larson by Hallpenny. And at this point, Casey, if you're Kirk Handy, you've got to tell your guys to calm down because you can't have anyone lost for Lindenwood as sitting down the tunnel as James.
Well, if you get a disqualification, you're not eligible for the next game according to ACHA rules. So that's a big thing right now for Liberty, who's going to play tomorrow. Bergen is sitting in the box. Well, he's not quite in the box yet, but now he's going to go back in the box. So he's going to just get a minor. Nobody's been tossed yet. And it's just frustration settling in for Arizona. We've seen it throughout the entire tournament. Down by 5, a team that was expected to make a deeper run than they have right now.
Well, Bergen will sit in the box, but sitting down the tunnel was Charlie James for Arizona, as he was the one who threw the initial hit that was a penalty at the head of Ryan Cox. So we'll see what the calls are here. And just some frustration from Arizona. I mean, they had the promising start, the ideal start to one of these games. 1:18 in, they get the first goal of the game, and then after that, it just all seemed to go downhill.
It has, and it's not a game.
Liberty penalty called on number 86, Joshua Bergen. 2 minutes for roughing. Time of the penalties, 5:04. Arizona penalties to James, a 5-minute major for elbowing and a game misconduct. Liberty penalty, Bergen, 2 minutes for roughing. Time of the penalties, 5:04. The major penalties being served by number 29, Kyle Wade.
So yet another major penalty to Arizona in this game. Another 5-minute opportunity will come after the 2 minutes to Josh Bergen, as Charlie James was kicked out. So some 4-on-4 hockey. And then at the 3:04 mark, we'll have a 3-minute power play for Liberty, Casey.
Yeah, and if you're the Flames, you can hang your head up high that none of your guys were tossed. I mean, right now it's just a 2-minute minor, so everybody's going to be eligible tomorrow. Just be sure to kill off time and try to avoid either big collisions or useless and stupid penalties.
As Fricks will work it in deep. Hamilton covering at the point. Now Arizona will get it. Skating up the ice are the Wildcats. It's Cusinelli with it. Cusinelli leaves it over for Marshall. Marshall to Cusinelli, and Cusinelli had a chance to put it home, but he was tied up with Josh Hamilton. Now coming the other way is Hamilton, one of the other assistant captains for this team. A true captain for Liberty. They have 3 assistants. It's Brock Thompson, Josh Hamilton, and Zach Hayes for the team. Hamilton was actually the captain last season for Liberty, only as a sophomore. Now coming the other way was Arizona. It's poked back to center, where Olnick will possess. Olnick plays it over. And now Arizona will try to get something set with 4:05 to go. Take down low. Trying to find Rowe was Plumhoff. Now it comes to Brock Thompson. Thompson cutting away from Plumhoff. He plays it to Reynolds. Reynolds plays it to Cruikshank. And now Cruikshank will skate into the zone. Cruikshank with some speed. And he will post up behind the net, poke free from him. And now coming the other way is Olnick, and we're going to get a penalty here, and it's going to go against Arizona. So it's going to be here in 29 seconds, a 5-on-3 for Liberty. And again, just continued frustration on the hooking penalty to Justin Plumhoff.
Well, I mean, Plumhoff should know better. An NCAA transfer from Fitchburg University. He's played on bigger stages before. It's just been that type of day for Arizona right now. Knowing it's settling in, Sam, that they're not moving on. It's a 6-1 game, and it doesn't help their cause. It's a 5-on-3 power play. So at this point, and now they're actually going to send Plumhoff out to the locker room.
So you wonder, is there going to be an unsportsmanlike penalty possibly attached to this? Because he is, and he is really frustrated.
He still has words to the officiating crew.
As he just threw a punch to the glass.
Justin Plumhoff, 2 minutes for hooking and a 10-minute misconduct. Time of the penalties, 3:33. Arizona penalties, Plumhoff, 2 minutes for hooking and a 10-minute misconduct. Time of the penalties, 3:33.
So 2 minutes for hooking and a 10-minute misconduct, as they'll get Vale Ardizzoni to serve the penalty. And that is 2 penalties that are non-minors, or non-2 minutes, or excuse me, 2 5 minutes and a 10-minute misconduct. And now Liberty back to the power play. As Fricks will get it. Fricks steps in, he scores. And Jacob Fricks extends the lead to 7-1. The offensive defenseman who's filled in nicely for Sharts, and it's just continuing to drive it home as Liberty converts on yet another power play.
The most impressive statistic for me today, Sam, 7 different goal scorers for the Flames. That's just incredible. 7 of anything is almost unheard of. I mean, you can't get any easier than that. He's just walking in the slot, and you're just watching these Arizona players just not really moving around and not shuffling their feet. It's an easy shot for Fricks, who just deposits an easy goal. I mean, it's a career year for Jacob Fricks. He's been balling out. 12 goals in total. His previous career high was 6.
And again, that's big shoes that they had to fill for Sharks, and Fricks has done nicely in the regular season.
6, Jacob Fricks. Assisted by number 9, Brock Thompson at 16:38. Liberty power play goal scored by Fricks. Assisted by Brock Thompson at 16:38.
Quick shot on is saved by Hallpenny off the shot from Ethan Stahlhuth. And Brock Thompson gets the assist, so Thompson officially on the board with a point in this lopsided game. 40 shots for Liberty, 16 for Arizona, still 2:53 of power play time for the Flames with 2:57 remaining in the third.
Yeah, it's going to be a short-handed affair for Arizona the rest of the way, so at this point, if you're Liberty, just try to keep the puck away from defenders and milk more clock. You don't want to risk anything here.
While we have the time, we'd like to promote that after this game, stay tuned to the ACHA network as ACHA Tonight with Matt Coma to recap the day of the men's Division I action and Division II action in Plano. Tomorrow's schedule, we'll go ahead and go through that as well. First game at 10 a.m., Iowa State versus Ohio, followed by Minot State and Adrian. Then we have another great game. There's a chance here, shot, and they score. So it's one of the leading goal scorers, the third leading in the nation. Bailey Marshall gets one on the board with 2:27 to go. It's 7-2 now.
Extending a career season, 28 in total, 27 in the regular year, and now 1 in the postseason. Not going to matter much. It's a garbage time goal, but a short-handed goal nonetheless. 2:27 to go in the third period. Not really much time to make a comeback after that. Marshall just kind of lackadaisically high-fiving his teammates down the side.
Pretty nice move from Marshall. Still good to see Arizona fighting towards the end, but we'll finish up the games. Davenport will take on Michigan Dearborn, and then as it seems now with a few minutes remaining, as Liberty will look to face Lindenwood. And Garrett Nelson got a 2-minute for roughing, so we'll have 4-on-4 pretty much for the remainder of the game.
11, Bailey Marshall, unassisted at 17:33. Arizona goal scored by Bailey Marshall, unassisted at 17:33.
So Marshall unassisted for Arizona's second of the game, stopping a 7 unanswered streak for Liberty. And Casey, this is a convincing win for the Flames. Of course, we talked about it time and time again. They have to take on Lindenwood tomorrow, but they've got to feel good going into that game.
Yeah, no, especially number 1 team coming in. You knew that Arizona was going to be a tough task, but number 1 team, never easy to play. But your head has to be in cloud 9 right now, especially after this game. But Sam, I want to know something really quick, and it's something that just popped in the back of my mind. Who's calling the Minot State and Adrian College game tomorrow? I want to know. I'm just curious.
That would be us, too. We'll be calling that game again tomorrow. Looking forward to working with you there, Casey, for that game. Should be an exciting matchup. Minot State beating Illinois today. Adrian barely escaping by. We're looking forward to that game, but look forward to all of the games. Great crews on for this entire staff with the ACHA National Tournament, both on camera and behind the scenes. So it's a great day of action to look forward to for Men's Division I and Division II. And also we'll have the Men's Division III getting ready to start up here soon.
Fast and reloaded. It's going to be a fun next few days.
As we're into the final minute, 40 seconds to go. Sam Fleming, Casey Roll here with you on the call for the ACHA Network. As they look for it in deep, Arizona trying to grab one last chance, and they're going to get a penalty here, as it looks like it's going to go against Justin Dungy, and it will, as there's a little pushing and shoving. And coming in was Ardazzoni. And you can hear Chad Berman yelling for Ardazzoni to go, and there's actually 2 players going to the box. With 26.1 to go, and also taking a seat again, we were talking about, is Dungy. That's actually, excuse me, that's number 29. Kyle Wade could not see the number, but just some frustration here, Casey, and just trying to see out this last 26.1.
Yeah, it's not really something you want to see, especially with a team who knows they're going to lose, just committing penalties, but...
And number 26, Justin Dungy, 2 minutes for roughing.
Thompson tees up one, Blomberg tries to throw it out. Now back up to Thompson. Thompson, great block there from Arizona's number 20, that's Raymond Rowe. Blomberg tried to feed Gammer, looking for Nelson. Now it's Ryan. Nelson shot's blocked, but it's not going to matter. That'll do it. Liberty in convincing fashion wins this one 7-2 over Arizona. 7 different goal scorers for the Flames.
Convincing win for Kirk Handy's bunch. He's been the head coach of the Flames for 19 years. There might not be as many games that he's seen just like this one. 7-2 over Arizona. A very good year for the Wildcats, finishing in at the number 9 seed in the Division I tournament, but they come up a bit short, making an exit right before the semifinals. And now if you're Liberty, have 24 hours, less than 24 hours before the big dogs march into Comerica Center. It'll be another top 10 matchup, Sam. You got to live for them. Top 10 matchups. And just think, the 1, 2, and 3 seeds are still alive. They're still playing. Lindenwood, Dearborn, and Adrian College all still alive. It's a great time to be part of this broadcast crew and a part of the coverage right now.
And you can't count out Ohio, too, the number 4 seed as well, trying to add on their 5th national title.
Just to think about how historic this game between Iowa State and Ohio is going to be. Each tied for the record in championship appearances with 27. Lots of history between the Bobcats and the Cyclones. That's going to be a very fun game to watch.
Casey, it was fun calling this one with you, and we look forward to tomorrow.
Of course, buddy.
Some great action on table. Again, Sam, for Casey Roll, I'm Sam Fleming, and for all the ACHA crew here on the ACHA Network, we say goodnight from Calling Games, and make sure to tune in with Matt Coma on ACHA tonight. Again, good night from Comerica Center.